Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Investor Connection. Today, I'm starting a gaming business and I'm going to try to do this as much time live as possible because I do believe it's a huge opportunity. We're stepping into a time where a bunch of new technology and innovations are combining to create business opportunities like nothing we've seen before. So part of what I've been thinking about is okay, let me show everybody who's interested how to do it, how I'm doing it, and let's get the process going of creating generational wealth through innovation. So my plan is today I'm starting my first gaming business based on a game launching that I believe has very good potential, and then from there we're going to see how we grow this revenue stream, and turn it into other types of assets, maybe turn it into a real estate property, from a game. So we'll see. Right now there's a launch. The game is going to be launching now, so we're going to be live streaming
later. Also, to
the
add
Discord.
To what you just mentioned is also to have like a simple indicator if a gotchi that is for lending has already channeled for the day. So that, and then taking into consideration the kinship definitely is going to be a big factor now as well.
So I'm gonna log into the Gotchiverse.
I mean, people are in here getting these contracts because I've had a couple fail for people signing them right before me.
Yeah, the lending is going to be insane. This Gotchi lending is going to have a whole new level of utility starting today. But yeah, the kinship filter gotta happen. That's a must. As is a simple, maybe it's a red green light, something very simple that says, it's 24-hour channeling is available now, or it's been spent. Or maybe we can get a little bit more granular and even have a countdown to how many hours till it can channel again. We'll have to see on that one in the subgraph and how it wants to behave. But create request definitely has to happen. There's going to be a lot of quality of life upgrades from what we see today through the next few weeks. So we'll be listening very careful and prioritizing what needs to fall next. And once we get through a little bit of that, then we can turn our attention to readying the harvesters and the farming equipment so we can survey our property and see how much alchemica is actually under our land. That part does not happen today. The surveys are still a few weeks out.
Futuristic, I saw that you announced some winners. Would you mind putting all those in one message so we can all...
So right now we're listening to the Discord, but one thing I'm realizing here is I need to go to my assets, which are on my ledger, right? So I put my most important assets on my ledger because it stays off the computer, so it's harder to hack, almost impossible to hack. So my land is on this ledger, so I need to get on that land. I probably need to move this ghost to where that land is, and it might be a little bit of a pain. I'm trying to figure out again, just me figuring out the business, right? So I want to have my assets secure on the ledger, and then I want to have the gameplay happening on another MetaMask account, and then I want to have all the resources that we acquire on another MetaMask account. That'll be like the business bank account, right? So thinking this through as I see it, but first thing I know is I gotta have my gotchi where my land is. So I'm gonna try that now.
Pretty high, especially when we get some more of the features. Like I think in the future, renters will be able to drop in on their owner's land, right? So you want to be the best renter possible. You'll have to be aware of, how much land does the person I'm renting from have? Where is that land? Has this gotchi been channeled yet? And does the land that the renter has, does that have an altar that has been rented on yet today?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little adjusting for sure.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a much more in-depth drill down to give you all this information on a particular potential borrow. There's going to almost have to be like the kinship filter. That's kind of just the tip of the iceberg, right? And then, like you say, it's like all right, does how many pieces of land are tied to this particular gachi, and that kind of thing. So access rights, all of that.
I was sorting 100 contracts with my filter, and now it's down to 3. So lots of lending going on. Everything over 500 kinship is gone.
Yeah, I believe it. Kinship's going to play a huge role, and then I guess just in general, there might be a few where they've already channeled or something. Maybe not here initially because nobody's channeled yet, but we will start to see that problem if we don't get that UI updated. So it'll be a bit of a lottery in and of itself, which is not ideal, but we're in the early stages here. Let's remember we're all alpha still. I just was popped back in and checked on with the dev team, and they said they're just a few minutes away from pushing. So we're going to have the game here expand greatly in just a couple more minutes. They're doing final
question for you regarding the gachi vaults.
Yeah.
So there's the 24-hour period. Like if I put all my gachis in, right, and I pull them out, I have 24 hours before I can put them back in where I won't be charged, right?
That's right.
Can I do that every day?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I want to pull, as long as I keep it in that 24 hours. So if I want to pull out channel and then put them all back in to do rentals for the rest of the day, I can do that.
Yep, that's my plan. I'm gonna try to time it so that I'm pulling out, channeling, putting back in, setting for rental, and then 4 hours before the channeling starts, pause all my gachis, which you can do through the user interface. So that'll wrap up whatever rental is currently going on, and then it won't relist it, and then I should be able to pull it out the next go. We'll see. That may be a lot of work, and hopefully in the coming weeks we're able to give borrowers more and more ability to do some of this stuff, so that it can be a little more passive. We just this week introduced the ability for people to deposit their land in the vault, which we're excited about. Which means that going forward, as more and more access rights get released by Pixelcraft, at first probably later today or tomorrow, anybody who's borrowing from the Gachi Vault will be able to channel at any of the vault's land, and then ideally, in the next couple of weeks, once we get more access rights, hopefully we'll be able to match up the whitelists of the gachis to the whitelists, set those whitelists up on the land, so that if you're a YGG scholar and you're renting a YGG gachi, you can then go and channel on a YGG parcel, and only people on that whitelist will be able to get that parcel. That's kind of the medium term vision that we have for renting and for channeling.
What's the breakdown? Because I know for me personally, I have 56 parcels now and 22 gachis. So I have 34 that are just going to sit there kind of unutilized. So if I was to stake them, how would that work for me as a person trying to stake in the gachi vault my land?
Well, I mean, you don't really get any benefit from, if somebody channels on your land, you don't get any benefit for that, right? It's just the renter is getting the benefit. So, I mean, if you just have these unused parcels, and you just want to stake them, you could just stake them. At this point, there's not really any benefit to the land holder of staking them. But once it'll get really interesting once we have farming live, right? Because then you are getting a benefit, right? So you've got your you've got the renters going around emptying your reservoirs for you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Fair to everything you just said about Gachi Vault, that's really powerful. That's huge. And I like how you defined as medium term some of those goals, which I think is even better.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When we first set up the contracts, we set them up to kind of be ERC 721 agnostic, so the functions actually work across any ERC 721 token. So you could deposit any ERC 721 that you own into the vault. So it was actually pretty straightforward to add on the realm functionality. And now that we upgraded to a diamond. We're now a diamond, which also makes it really easy because adding the realm, you just add in another facet to the diamond. And so, you've already got the deposit function set up, and then you can just add in another facet that has whatever functionality you want. So, you can imagine long-term, talking about medium-term, long-term goals, you can imagine it, onboarding any kind of ERC 721 across, even across other games or other protocols.
No, that's awesome. In terms of your support today, like, and how many is it? No futuristic. I think you can mute. There's a lot of clicking and keyboard sounds. But Bearded, you were saying like the YGG that's just an example, right? Like multiple guilds are working together using the vault's contracts to more effectively manage their assets.
Yeah, I think we currently have. I think we're up to 37 guilds that are doing renting with the vault. The majority of them are these kind of small. I guess maybe half are these kind of small guilds that we get from Quest Gamers. Quest Gamers is kind of like a guild of guilds, so they have like maybe 15 sort of sub guilds. But yeah, we've got a lot of our favorite kind of local friends are using the vault. People like Meta Guild, YGG, Blackpool, Sushi Squad. We've been very happy to partner with a lot of people, and we've been getting good feedback from them. Playdrop went, so we're excited to keep building.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I do want to butt in here just real quick and just give a shout out there to the Gotchi Vault. Bearded, you guys took the cheat out gauge vote for round 9. That's a very substantial, very impressive. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, we were excited about that. And if anybody's following Dystopia Exchange, which is a new exchange that's coming out, we're trying to take their gauge vote also. So I think we're currently.
I think Aavegotchi themselves got a portion of that distribution as well, right? Jesse, do you know what Aavegotchi's plans are with Dystopia?
My radar here really recently is just because of what I heard the vault was doing. So we've got to look into it more.
Cool. Yeah, March as the vault does. I'm going to get Ghosting do the same thing, I think, as well. Quite a few of our overlapping communities can probably galvanize behind this push. We can take over Dystopia as well.
I like the way it's framed. It's just like, take over. But it really is, right? You got these different kind of liquidity whip battles. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to check back in on the other side, guys, and just make sure we're on quote-unquote schedule here. Just make sure there's no issues at all. And hopefully we'll all be playing in the Gotchiverse here in 1 second.
So let me throw this out there real quick too, guys. So you guys may have heard of the Gotchi Cast, Gotchi Brothers. We do an open podcast event diving deeper into the community here inside the Gotchiverse. Last night's space went really well with Hefe in the group, so I have some guests in mind that I want to put open calls out there too. And so Gotchi Emperor, we're hunting for Penrose, Rigo J. Mortis, Miguel Sanchez, user OX Default. I want to talk specifically whoever's in charge of VGG, so Bearded, if you want to point me that way. I've got the Portal Mages, Brills, and Hills. You guys need to get on the show. And then Young Abstract as well. That's plenty of episodes to start off with, but I have all of you guys on my mind. I want to get a little bit inside y'all's heads.
What's a VGG? You said VGG?
Yeah, Vault Gamers Guild. Started to see that one floating around.
I think it's the Vault. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I guess they are. I've seen them as Vault Scholars Guild. Yeah, you can reach out to Al on Discord.
Right on. I'll hunt him down. What were you saying? No future?
I was like, those are all fire interviews. If I might add, also add our Biculum to that list because he's a wealth of information.
On the list. Appreciate it.
So what are you guys planning on doing when you first get in there? What's your first 5 minutes look like in the Gotchiverse once the land release is official?
I want to see how close my humbles are to the Great Portal Lakes. I'm going to check out my D1 inner walls.
Good to hop from parcel to parcel, check it out. We all figured out where our parcels were on the map in relation to the information we have, but now we finally get to be put directly on it and teleport to those lands. So super excited to get to taking a look at, who's my neighbor, who I'm sharing space with and all that good stuff.
I'm trying to just channel as fast as possible because, the faster you channel, the faster. Well, no, I guess. So we passed this like once in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you actually. Oh, okay. So I guess you don't have to channel until I think 11:59 UTC today, right?
I believe that's how I understand it. Yes.
All right. So maybe the move is to just run around, assuming that other people will be channeling as soon as possible, and just try to scoop up all of their spillover.
There you go.
Yeah, that was my thought. Because it's like I have to put up at least, I have 22 gotchis that have to all channel, and that means I also have to craft at least 22 altars, but I'll probably go through and try to do all of them while spectating what's happening and also being distracted by random spillover of Alchemica. So this is going to be an event. Oh, just once again, there won't be a type form today for XP. All you have to do is get your gotchi into the Gotchiverse once they launch this updated UI. Bring each of your gotchis in, and that on-chain transaction that's happening will be their indication for who to give XP to.
The future, do you have any advice there? Is that going to be a time window thing, or is that going to kind of be the typical like 24 or 48 hour window of availability?
What do you mean for? Wait, I just completely blanked out. Say, what's the question?
If I jump in there with my gotchis like in 6 hours from today, you think they're still eligible for that XP?
Oh, they haven't said like what the time limit is. I assume it's like at least the time during this hangout, plus maybe a couple extra hours. They always extend it like a few hours after, especially when it's like stress test or Gotchiverse related.
Yeah, I think great question. We didn't address it. Yeah, we'll actually just any gotchi that hops into Gotchiverse in the first 24 hours of this gameplay release is good to go with the XP. So if you are looking to go to bed because it's 5 a.m. where you are and you've been up all night, you're okay to do that. You're just going to miss out on all the mayhem and fun that's about to go down. So yeah, we'll keep it open. Everybody, any XP for any gotchi that shows up. And the way gotchi lending is going, I guess just about all the available gotchis will be all hands on deck, right?
Oh, Zed's telling us it's open. Folks are chattering that they're hopping in.
Oh, is that right? Yep, that probably is just about right. Okay, it's open. Yes, we are live, friends. Go ahead, hop on into the Gotchiverse. Let's see what happens. It's happening.
Yeah, just gotta make sure my controller works, and then it's time to own some noobs. Ooh, I like this.
Yes, we got our devs and servers and consumers are deployed, waiting for API. Okay, API is deployed. Everything should be up. I mean, looks like no futuristic. You're in the world right now, right? So it's real.
I'm in the world right now. It's showing a black background, but I see that you added this like build icon here. And then I'm just waiting now for the background to load.
Okay. Yeah, it's strange. The devs are telling me the API is not deployed yet, so there's still it's rolling out. But it shouldn't be a blocker.
gameplay is commencing. So I'm a little confused, but it seems that we are live.
I really like that you can all the options that you have to drop in, right? You've got the 6. It looks like the 6 spots in D1 and then any of your parcels. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's I'm pretty happy with that. Hopefully everybody else enjoys as well. You also have the spawn randomly button if you just don't want to waste any time thinking about it. Play a little roulette. Mike Allen, you got some parcels there to choose from. I see the screen you shared of your starting point select.
Well, yeah, the UI is just lovely, guys. Like, we'll work out all the details and everything, but at least in concept, great execution.
So it's so empty compared to the stress test.
Oh man, look at this.
Where is everybody?
Right, it's going to be a lot harder to find a friend now. You're not going to feel crowded at all. Room to stretch your legs.
So you said that there should be like a menu that pops up to allow me to choose which parcel to go to, correct?
Yeah, when you log in. You are.
I'm already in. Like it just brought me in though.
Maybe you had to refresh.
Yes, spawn should be before you go through the portal itself.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the spawn options either.
Try a refresh.
Yeah, that's interesting. You should see a spawn option for sure.
I found someone. Hello. Okay.
Yeah, like I choose my gachi, we walk in, it's loading, and then still loading.
Yeah, you're already having a miss then. As soon as you choose the gachi, you should be getting spawn menu before you even go through the portal.
Yeah, because you just dropped me to District 20. I don't even know if I own it. Is there any way on the map to see where my parcels are?
I tried. I selected a different gachi and it brought up that screen for me. So maybe just try different gachi.
I actually refreshed. It worked the first time. I refreshed and then it. But I don't know.
Yeah, that is strange. I'm sure there's some caching issues going on, so it's probably related to some of that. But I'm going to hop in myself and see if that happens to me. See if I can recreate the issue here.
Go back. I'm trying to port my land over.
So when we're putting our altars on the parcel, I have a lot that are next to a road. Should I be putting the altar as far away from the road as possible? Or is it just like always in the center parcel is the best option?
No, I think it's going to be up to you and thinking about what else you're going to build on it. So if you're anticipating, adding 6 harvesters in the near future, 3 reservoirs, some NFT display cases, if you end up having a longer term plan for that, but the truth is you can really place it anywhere you want. The spillover area is so massive that it's not going to matter to much extent whether you put in the center or the edge. Think more in terms of, do I want people to see this? Do I want it to be in a highly foot trafficked area in terms of attracting people or showing off something? I'll probably put my NFT display cases near the road, for example.
Okay, cool.
Gachi Farmy asking about the density of this spillover, and yeah, there is a distribution. There's some math behind it, and there's kind of a spillover within the spillover. So within 100 gachis range, using 1 Aavegotchi as the measurement, within 100 gachis radius, you've got the kind of hot zone. This is where a certain percent of the total spillover will go, and that percentage increases as you level up your altar. So if you get all the way to level 29, you see more there, and really that's just an effect of the wider radius shrinking with each leveling up. So by the time you get to level 9, like 25% of the spillover is happening in that 100 gachi radius. The rest of it is in the wider radius. I can drop that map again, but it's all there at blog.aavegotchi.com and kind of goes through all of that. So yeah, there is a bit of a concentration in the 100 gachi radius. That's I guess the short answer.
The precise numbers, they do exist. I just don't have them super handy right now. But I will try to get some more details on how that works published soon. All right, looks like it's getting pretty quiet. I think everybody's in the Gotchiverse, roaming around. I see King Friendly is in the build mode.
So as we see, the game is just launching, and there's definitely some bugs and stuff happening. Hey, Shriram. Okay, so they're updating it. So as we wait, this is the launch of a game. I moved 3 of my lands to build on them. That's my plan. Oh wait, I'm gonna do. All right. All right, so I'm gonna need a certain amount of money to build on them. I'm gonna send that money to this wallet once I understand how much I need.
Yeah, that serves a couple purposes. Let's say you have good reputation in the community and in the Discord. Maybe you've earned some badges. You've been a member. We can look up your name and see you've been chatting and participating for 6 months or whatever. Then if you're able to link that to your account, it's going to help, basically help you if you get accused of being a bot, right? If the bot hunting algorithms think you're a bot, but you have this Discord link to your login, it's going to help dramatically to very quickly get you, proven to not be a bot and be able to play again. So that's one really nice part. Longer term, there's going to be a ton of cool social features we can do to leverage on that, right? So it could in the Gotchiverse chat, it could link and show the same name that you have in the Discord, so everybody recognizes you right away. And you can do a lot of cool things with that over time. So I'm sure feature requests will come in and we'll prioritize the most popular ones.
Quick update, everyone in the chat right now. Coder Dan has mentioned to expect a slightly bumpy ride as this is an extremely alpha launch here. So let's be a little patient here as they are working extremely hard to get us back online here. So there will be updates shortly.
So as you see, of course, launching anything is really tough, right? So they're launching a game live where people expect to make money, and there's all kind of blockchain technology. So me personally, I'm trying to figure this out as a business, but I also sympathize as a person that has built things and plans to continue to, hopefully at this scale. But the idea is today we're here streaming to learn about the gaming business of Aavegotchi first. We will be launching our gaming business through this project first. And then there are other game projects that I am going to be launching from. So if you go to massideation.games, these are projects that I've bought into and I plan to create businesses around. Guild of Guardians is one. Aavegotchi, as you see, this has changed a lot since I made this. Big Time is a game that's out, but the VIP passes are not to my level yet. I'll be in the next few weeks able to create that. World Wide Web is another big popular game that's doing very well. I have land in there. Aavegotchi is another game that is about to launch as well. Has a lot of the same ideas of Aavegotchi. I got some racing game, Eververse, Sandbox, Decentraland, Metakey. So there's a bunch of game opportunities. So when I say I'm launching a gaming business, all those games will be part of the business. Each game I'm going to try to manage in different wallets, which would be like different bank accounts, so I could keep track of the investment I made in the games and then when I recoup that investment. So as I said, the reason why I'm thinking about this and I'm building this in this way is this is kind of unprecedented. We are seeing the dawn of a new era of business, pretty much. So what's happening right now is there's blockchain technology, there's cryptocurrency, there's NFTs. And what these things are all creating is the opportunity to create games where people can make money as they play them. And then there's decentralized finance where you can take that money and start creating generational wealth the same way people do with things like real estate, stock, and stuff like that. So I'm going to take you guys along the journey with me to start a gaming business that turns into generational wealth. Who knows how long it'll take? But my real goal here is to take these game assets and turn them into real world assets that cash flow for me. So as we see, I have a character here that I paid, I forget how much, but it was over $1,000 for this character. This character I expect to make me more than I paid for it every year. Then I'm going to take that money that it made me and I'm going to put it into a decentralized finance protocol that will grow the money that I'm making on it. And then I'm going to grow it to a certain point where I can borrow off of that money and buy a real estate property. And then that real estate property will cash flow as well. And I'll bring that money into the same decentralized finance system. And I know it sounds complicated, but you kind of need to start understanding this stuff because this is game changing all the way around. And I think the more people get involved with learning all of these things, the quicker people can get to financial freedom. That's why, like, when I create content, I'm mostly talking about creating financial freedom through innovation. The reason why I say that is innovation, if you invested in early enough, you can reap a faster reward, right? So right now I'm in this game day one. Why? Because if this game works out and I've invested time and money understanding it, I will reap the reward more than anybody else that comes in later, right? Because I already have assets, already have understanding, I'm already making money. So by the time the masses come in and the bigger money pours in, I reap that reward because I was early. But being early is also risky, right? Like I could also be very wrong about a game, a project, a coin, right? So yeah, the project is down right now. They're building it, they're launching. You know, if you ever been part of a launch, you understand what this is like. So
that's something to consider. But we're also increasing the size of the playfield significantly.
So I'm on the Discord listening to what's going on. But basically, why I'm making this video is, and this video series, because this is going to be a series, of course. So another thing, when I invested in this project, I didn't invest for 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. You know, that's not how you should be investing. And that's where I think a lot of people that got into cryptocurrency last year, they bailed because they literally were treating this like a casino, Las Vegas. Put money in a coin and let's see by the end of the month if I'm up 10x. That's not how investments work, you know. And I'm not investing in this entity in that way. I'm investing in saying in the next 4 years, I should get my investment back. I've invested a lot. Over the past year, I've invested a lot. This one game, I've invested about $25,000 in this game, right? So that's crazy. Please give me the Aavegotchi. I'm gonna channel on my land first, and then you could rent my Aavegotchi and use it for sure. So you know the thing is, people that understand this game understand that you can rent out my Aavegotchi, go make money with it, and we share that profit. Of course, the renter makes more than I would make, but I make something. So that's again why I look at it like real estate, right? Like every day I have Airbnb. I have an Airbnb that gets rented. People use it. They pay me for that usage, and it just makes money every day. Now I'm gonna have more rental properties, but they're gonna be NFTs, and then I'm gonna have land, just like I have land in Dominican Republic. I'm gonna have land in the metaverse that's gonna make me money every day, and my goal is to make that land in the metaverse make me more money than my land in the Dominican Republic does. And we're gonna go along that journey. We're gonna see how long it takes for that to happen. But again, I'll give it 4 years. I'm pretty sure I'll get there in less than a year, but that's my like internal hope. But my, you know, more realistic thinking says invest for 4 years and see what happens. Because why do I say 4 years? Every 4 years there's a you know, the cycle, the crypto cycle based on the halving of Bitcoin. So right now we just passed the last 4 years, and normally it takes 4 more years for that pump to happen again. So if that happens, and I have to wait 4 more years for that pump, when that pump happens, all the coins of cryptocurrency go up. And what I'll do is then I will recoup my initial investments. I will make sure I cash out enough so my initial investments come back to me with profit, hopefully. But also, hopefully, during the 4 years, I will also make money day to day, right? And I'll be taking that money and growing that money. So again, I'm going to be doing all this online. I'm going to show you, and let's see how fast it goes. Let's check back in with the project, see how it's going.
So what do we think a premium on gotchis that are like 600 or 700 kinship or better? Because we have gotchis that are close to 1,000 point. I personally have 3 that are over 700. So I wonder what we would project the rentals would be for those gotchis, since you would get a much higher UBI.
And to be quite frank with you, I think that's something we found out in real time. Overall, I generally think that the rentals are lower than they should be, but I think that's something that will establish itself when we have some more information and some more people playing more consistently. So I don't have an answer for that, but I think it'll all work itself out once we start getting used to the UBIs and whatnot.
You know, just at Tingos.
What's
what's
the,
that?
so there's like tiers, right? So like a 495 in Shibgachi, I think would be the same as a 301, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So basically, let's see here. I'm going to pull up the chart. Forgot which blog we're in here.
You know how your kinship score is a score, but there's also a word next to it, like, you know, your
What they're discussing is right now, this is how you rent characters. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So you can rent the characters by going to this website and paying here. There's one upfront ghost, and you keep 100% of the alchemica you make. So you made $50 in an hour, which I don't think you can, but let's say you did. You keep all $50. So this is 100%, 100%, 100%. This is 2 ghosts for 12 hours. So this renter, this owner is looking for ghost coins. So they're willing to give away the alchemica because they want the ghost. The ghost coin is, again, a collateral asset. So the more ghost coins you get, that's like creating generational wealth in a way, because it's like buying houses because you could rent, you could borrow off of them, and you can get interest on ghosts in many different ways. So, okay, what I'm seeing right now, the rental market is, all right, so half a ghost for 12 hours. See, so when I go to rent mine, I'm just going to see where it is, because I'm going to spend some time walking around trying to collect. And then once I have all 3 of my ghosts, they've channeled, I'm going to set it to rent. And once I do that, I'll come back here, see what the levels are, and then I'll deposit them into the Gotchi vault, and I'll let them continue renting them out for me all the rest of the day. And this is, again, why am I creating this video? Think about everything I just told you. I have a real estate property in Dominican Republic. It gets rented out through Airbnb. Airbnb charges me a percent. I have people over there managing the whole process. When people reach out about renting it, when people are there, if there's any problems, it's a lot of different moving parts. This business, I believe, will make more money needing less people to be involved, right? We'll make more money per dollar invested, right? And why is that? Because of all the technology that's built around this ecosystem. There's ways of making money without having to interact with people because of smart contracts on the blockchain. And then because of cryptocurrency, money can flow into my wallet instantly without any bank accounts or anything like that. So people all over the world are going to be able to make money and share that money with me, and I'm going to be able to give them access to investments that I've made, and they're going to be able to make money using those investments, and I'm going to share in the profits as they make money to feed their families anywhere in the world. And eventually, I'm going to even have youth in my nonprofit, Meta Bronx, be able to start building generational wealth from spending $0 because I will lend them my ghost assets, my Aavegotchis, and they're going to be able to make money and they're going to use that money to create generational wealth for themselves. So that's my path, right? The way I look at it is this investment has multiple pros and cons, right? And there's risks, right? So the pros, actually, I like to start with the risks. What's the biggest risk? The biggest risk is that this game is not popular, right? Nobody wants to play it. That's a big risk because I've invested a lot of money, and if this doesn't end up, people don't play it, then the coin is not worth anything. The NFTs are not worth anything. So that was the first thing I had to really test, right? I had to say, do I believe people are going to play this? So instead of believing, I watched. I started looking at what people were doing, and I saw a lot of people playing it before it even existed. Like the game is really still being tested, and thousands of people play it every day. And I'm like, all right, so imagine when it really can make money. I could see a lot of people every day playing it. So that was one risk, and that was how I mitigated the risk. But I could be totally wrong because once the full game goes into play, people may not like the game, and then I'm screwed, right? Okay, so here's another thing. This game is run by a DAO, and the DAO, things get voted on by the community members who've invested in the game. So if I'm a very small time investor in this ecosystem. There's people that have invested millions of dollars into this game. Don't you think we'll figure out how to make the game more fun or whatever the problem is? Because we want to. And it's not like we have to hope some company listens to us. The DAO makes the decisions on what happens with this game. And I'm a DAO member. So that is a mitigation to that risk, right? Some of the investments I've done, that's not the case. But this is the case why I've invested a lot in this game, because I do believe the community is all aligned with incentives to make sure that this works, right? So the gameplay, right now, a lot of people play it. And if it doesn't work out and it's not as good as we think, we can change it. And we decide how we change it. And you see in these calls, they have calls every week talking about how to better make the game better. And this is not just like the company talking down to us. We're involved in the conversation. I was on the stage last time, and I could be on stage probably right now too if I wanted to, but I'm doing this content as well. So this is why I look at these risks and I say, I think those are good mitigations to those risks. Another risk, cryptocurrency takes more of a downfall and people just don't want to deal with it. I do not think there's any way back from cryptocurrency. This morning, I was buying something with cash and I had to count change. And as I'm doing that, I'm like, how stupid is this? That we have a tool where I could have just sent this person with a button press the exact amount of money they needed. But because everybody's scared of innovation, we might be 10, 20 years before that process is possible. But I don't see it not happening. I just think it's going to take long because most people are scared. But I do think it's going to happen. It's going to happen faster in the gaming industry because kids are already doing it in games. Not only kids, adults are doing it too. I just put out an article on LinkedIn the other day. 320, where was it? Was it 3.2 billion people play games. 3.2 billion people play games right now. And all those people are playing games. No, most of those people are playing games that they can't make any money playing. Can you imagine when the games you play, you can actually walk away with a few bucks instead of just playing to play? And of course, the games still have to be fun. It can't just be about money. These are not going to be jobs. But for some people, they might. I've heard of stories where people in certain countries play this game for a few hours and they make more money playing these games than they could working jobs in the areas they live. That is interesting, right? It's a global economy inside a gaming economy. So I look at all these pieces and I'm like, look, I will take that risk.
Seeing, because before you were doing this very time intensive thing of running around, grinding, trying to collect all the alchemica. which takes a long time, and so you deserve to be compensated for that time, right? Now you're doing that. The scholars will be doing a very low time intensive thing of just running in and
Yeah, like I can't imagine someone like lending out their gotchi for more, like that still can be channeled for more than like 20%. And even 20% seems high to me. It's still assuming the kinship is at an even.
I think what we'll see is we'll probably see two different like tiers or categories of lending listings, right? You'll have the Aavegotchis that have already channeled for the day, or their owner maybe just doesn't have a land parcel, and those they might list at a very high borrower percentage, right? Because you'll still be able to run around as a scholar. You'll still be able to run around and scoop up alchemica, and if you're solely doing that, obviously you should get a much higher percentage since it's so time intensive. So I think we'll see.
That means that money goes up, right? So they get even more than what he was saying, right?
Yeah, so if the gotchi is already channeled, then I imagine the percentages are going to be similar to what they used to be, like 70%, give or take. But if the gotchi hasn't channeled, then it's going to be like 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
Or a high upfront cost.
Yeah.
Like high upfront cost is something like 8 ghosts or something like that. 9 ghosts, 10 ghosts, because then you could do 100% gotchi for like 10 ghosts or 9 ghosts, assuming like 500 kinship. And then you would still, you would break even on the channeling.
Yeah.
And then, or actually no, because of the split. So it'd be like 5 or 6 ghosts. But you would break even on the channeling, and then you could still play the 100% gotchi for however long.
Yeah, and I think if you're a renter, you're going to want to list those for like a 30-minute rental period, right? Because you want the renter to drop in, channel, and then have the rental be over, so that for the next 23 hours or whatever, you can rent it as basically a grinder gotchi where they're just
Yeah, but I mean in theory, but then if you're doing that, that means you have to rent it out. You have to put up 2 listings, right? You have to put up a listing for the amount for the channeling, and then another listing for someone else to run around and collect on. And at that point, it's just as much work to just collect it yourself.
Do you think
not if you're auditing it.
We were backed up, it looks like, guys.
Do you think just listing?
We're back up again. Sick. Let's do it.
Yeah, guys, the land parcel should be active now. I'm relaying that straight from the boiler room, so if you log in and can get in, great. If not, just literally probably a refresh away. It should be.
Definitely refresh your browser.
It didn't work for me last time, but my gotchi is still invisible though.
Let's see if more folks are getting the spawn location menu as well.
Yeah, that was one of the ways that they pushed.
Do you guys think just doing 1 rentals for every 24 hours to kind of give both of those equations kind of time to work out?
I mean, that's obviously up to you. I mean, if I had a decent, if I had less than 100 gotchis, I would just do it myself. And then,
Guys, real quick, are there sub districts in D1? I'm seeing the 1F, 1E as I'm walking around here.
Yeah, so that's the different neighborhoods. Yeah, because District 1 is 6, the equivalent of 6 normal sized districts. So yeah, you may see a label there to make it more clear which one you're in. So each of those has 1 spawn point. Each of those neighborhoods.
For anyone joining us in the chat right now, I created a little thread on Twitter about what's going on today with the altars and channeling. So
both these lands right here are mine. And there's a road in between them, which is cool. Okay, so I'm gonna try to jump in with another character. This character is not showing up when I try to. And again, this is buggy. This is the launch of a game that has a 30-year horizon of things that are gonna happen. So, I think about my kids and how the games they play and how long those things have been around, right? So my kids have District 1. My kids have been playing games that have been around. So Fortnite's been around for years. What's another one? Roblox has been around for almost 15 years. right? So imagine, and none of those games you can make money while you play them. My son's first job was playing in this game, and he made money. He made money. He made more money playing this game than I made in my first job bagging groceries, right? So think about that. Of course, inflation, sure. But the truth of the matter is, we are moving into a world where the way people make money and the businesses are going to be very different than we've seen. And this is why I'm creating this series, because this is the start of it. I really truly believe this game is the start of how this is going to work. And of course, it's technology, so it's just launching and it's buggy. So right now, you can't even see my character. Nobody, I can't see anybody's characters. Um, but super interesting to see how large this this land is, right? So this is only the middle of the map. This map is massive. All right, so I logged in with my, okay, so I'm about to run into a wall, looks like, yes. Okay, this is a wall, you gotta go around the wall. All right, so I'm gonna come out and then try to do my other character as well. The reason why I'm doing this is because they said if you log in with your different ghosts, Aavegotchis, they're gonna give you free experience points for being here today. So I wanted to make sure I logged in with all three, even though my plan is to build on all three of my lands, and then I'm gonna channel, and then I'm going to rent them out. And the rest of the day, I'm gonna go about doing the other work I have to do for my other businesses, and I'm gonna let people rent out my Aavegotchis, and they're gonna make money, and I'm gonna make money as they play. I did this for about 2-3 weeks, a few weeks ago, and I made about $200 by just letting people play with my characters. So again, think about that, right? Like, this is a business. No way around it. No way to look at it differently. This is a business, and I'm going to treat it that way. Every day, I'm going to look to see how much money I made to recoup my investment, how much I'm cash flowing. Eventually, the idea is I'll get back my initial investment and then I'll start profiting. We're going to see how long that's going to take. But I also have other ways, right? I could sell parts of this investment, right? I've invested in now 15 pieces of land, 3 Aavegotchi Ghost. I can sell 5 pieces of land and make back half of my investment, right? If I want to. At a certain point, I'm going to look and decide that and say, is it better to own these lands or sell them because I see them going for a lot more than I paid for them? And that could be ways that I recoup my investment as well. Um, and if I'm just renting out my characters enough to recoup my investment, I'll just keep the land, right? And there's going to be more things coming around for the game. There's going to be ways to make money on the land, which doesn't exist fully right now. But once it does, then I really start making that decision, because some lands I may be able to make more money holding it than selling it, right? So we're going to see how that all works. And let me go back to hear what they're talking about.
Get some insight into that here very shortly.
The golden tiles are so sick. It's gonna be such a. I feel like people have been sleeping on the golden tiles. It's gonna be such a good flex play, like a year, 2 years down the road, when there's when everybody's out in like the rest of the world on their like just boring ass tiles, and all the OGs have these sick gold tiles.
It's my goal to get 32, grind out 32 of these golden tiles over the next little bit, and have a fully solid gold spacious parcel.
Yeah, that's my goal too. I bought 100 of each of the first 2. I'm planning to do the same for Golden Tile 3, and just have my whole estate. I've got 3 spacious in a row. Just gonna have it all decked out, all gold.
Yeah, the cost of alchemica has really skyrocketed lately.
I actually need to buy more alpha for these.
Yeah, alpha is going to probably skyrocket more.
Yeah, the last few social releases dropped so much alpha because all the recipes currently are the alpha heavy recipes, but it's still not enough.
So I bought land that had a lot of alpha
some
boost.
some other like some CAC heavy recipes coming up in the future, or some FOMO heavy recipes. Just one.
Yeah, I think it has a kind of predictable formula where like different. I think it's all the harvesting, the farming ones. Those are really heavy in FUD, right? And then if you're more social, it's more like FOMO. And if it's more like magical channeling, that kind of stuff, it's the alpha, something like that. So there's a method to the madness. And then as different types of things start getting pushed, you'll see different recipes with different primary recipe ingredients.
So, okay, what I have to do first.
Quick question. I think this seems right, but I'm in the Gotchiverse and I crafted an altar. And I thought about it, like, can I craft another altar with the same Gotchi? Like, if I have 56 parcel, can I sit here with this one Gotchi, craft all 56 of them, and then move after then from parcel to parcel placing them? Or do I have to do it like one at a time, place it, go to the next parcel, craft, place it?
I just crafted 50 parcels in one go.
Oh crap! I didn't know you could do that. All right, yeah. Let's. Okay, I'm just gonna do this the easy way now.
Glad I heard that because I was about to do the wrong thing.
Everything you need up front, and then just figure out where you want to equip it.
So right now I'm
You
starting
just
out.
make it all at once, 39 of them, and it's only one gas feed. Will that go up like other stuff?
Actually, that's a good point. So you know what? Let's see. I got 15 pieces of land.
Seems better than just doing one at a time. That does seem like it's better. A lot better.
I have to decide how I'm going to do this, right? Am I going to put it on every land? I mean, might as well. Yeah, so right now I just crafted 15 altars because I have 15 pieces of land. Another thing I see here is as you make your land more valuable by putting things on them and raising the levels, if you go to sell that item, that land, it's worth more money, right? So that's why I look at it and I say, build up these lands and then they become more valuable, right? So by making the altar more of a higher level, the land becomes more valuable. So I'll do that during this process as I learn. And then, like I said, once I make the decision to sell this land, it's worth more just because I did this. And this is free. Actually, this is a free thing that you can upgrade them, right? So right now, I think I have a 15. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to try to build here and listen in.
Yeah, I just picked up some Matic last night in anticipation that we're going to be burning a lot of Matic now. Because, with us, the gameplay doesn't stop. I'll spend the Matic. It's like you said, that cheap, just so I can keep playing.
That's the thing. I mean, at this point, if you're buying Matic gas, you don't really care if the price goes up or down, right? You're gonna use it in the future.
Yeah, especially from channeling, you're making like 3 ghosts a day. That's intense. Like you can, the Matic is worth it.
Yep.
Bullish.
So that's another thing. The coin Matic is going to benefit from this game. And there's a bunch of games actually coming on the Polygon blockchain. So Matic, again, not financial advice. None of this is financial advice, by the way. But the truth is, this makes people bullish on these projects, right? Like if you see all this cool stuff happening, I can't see my character right now, so I'm playing in a way that's weird. But, seeing everything being built on this blockchain including these games that are, like you just saw, there's like thousands of people playing right now, and the game just started. All right, there it is. All right, so I have 15 of these. So I drag it. Is that what I'm saying? All right, so this is the start. The thing is, where you place this, you can't move it after you. If you end up wanting to move it, you gotta burn it, meaning it goes away forever, and you lose the money that you put into it. I think you get half of it back. So let me listen again. Maybe they're saying anything about this.
Change your kind of placement, but it's going to always be part of that parcel. So only choose to place or equip your golden altars if you're sure that's the strategy you want to go with, and it's going to be interesting to see some very special altars versus parcels versus others that are just normal altars.
You can move it, you just can't. You can move it within the same parcel. You just can't take it out to a different parcel.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. You're basically combining two NFTs in that sense. A bit of a binding action.
I think a lot of people are still experiencing issues with like being invisible too. I know I haven't been able to see my Gotchi yet today.
It seems somebody posted the suggestion to go to settings, and the second option there, what is that? I can't even read the screen. But animate player. There seems to be some bug with that. So if you flip the switch on animate player, it might take care of the problem.
Here, I'll try it out and let you know.
All right. So I just put. And then I think the middle.
I had it on. I had it off, sorry, and I turned it on, and it works now. So there you go. I wonder if I can turn it off again, and would it work?
I'm starting to feel very protective of my land. I just like chased a whole bunch of people off the spaces that I'm on. Like, it's like some grumpy old man, like, get off my porch.
Gotta get those high fences up.
Yep, get some different builds going on the defensive side.
How do you do that? Settings?
Maybe a scarecrow. Maybe we could craft a sign that says "Get off my lawn." So.
I had it off, turned it on, and I was able to see myself. And I tried turning it off again, and I wasn't able to see myself. So I guess you need to have animate player on right now to be able to see yourself if anyone else is having the same issue.
How do you do that though?
Really quickly, while we're waiting, I just threw up a tweet into the chat. If you go in, retweet this tweet, I'm going to give 5 people a drop ticket like within the next 20 minutes. So all you have to do is just retweet that tweet. It says, "Guys, let's go," or "Let's get it," and we'll do a quick like Twitter giveaway.
All right, you know what? Let me sign in Discord and do that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like you're kind of like that layer 1, layer 2 you were talking about, Jesse. So the Gotchi's kind of like looks like it's running around underneath the altar.
So, if you don't know what's going on, if you're just tuning in, I'm building a gaming business from scratch, and this is the first game. I've invested in multiple games. You go to massideation.games, you'll see all the games that I've invested in. This is the first one that is going live that I've invested in, that I see a huge opportunity for. So I'm starting the process today. The game is launching and we're watching it. So it's buggy and all that stuff. But the truth is, okay. So the truth is, though, these businesses are being created. Businesses that were never really possible to create before are being created right now. And this is one of the first. So I'm taking the testing of the risk of investing money and time and seeing how these work. They may benefit, they may not. We'll see. But I truly believe that these games are going to create generational wealth for people, and I'm hoping I'm one of them. And I'll take you guys along for the whole process. Right now we're in the Discord listening to them talking about the launch. I'm learning about it as it goes, and I'm launching.
A couple of things in motion here, and we're kind of observing and seeing if there's other things that might need to be updated.
All right, so I'm about to channel.
Interesting problems to solve.
Just a quick comment on the scale. I've been jumped into my properties and putting altars down. There's about 2,300 people online, and I've seen 0. So, pretty interesting.
It's a big old crazy world. That's pretty epic. Totally different than the play drop gameplay mode, right? You're going to be peacefully gardening and channeling and harvesting on your parcel, but it'll fill in.
All right, so now I'm next at my parcel.
Real quickly, if you're retweeting, don't quote retweet, because for some reason the app that I use does not count quote retweets. So just a plain retweet will be best for the giveaway.
Could have sworn there's put something on here.
Good point. I just retweeted myself. I like that cute little ghost animation you got going there on Twitter.
Yeah, that one's new because I usually dance it, and I saw this one yesterday, and I was like, that's kind of cute. I just wish it kind of looks like Aavegotchi. I just wish we could take off whatever it's on its head to give it more of a like gotchi kind of look.
Yeah, so as you can see, products early are buggy, and you got to be okay with that. I'm very aware of it, being a past developer and have been built games for clients. So I'm not really worried about it, but it is a little tough to understand what's going on. I'm going to try to add to my other lands.
Which I assume means that that you're not able to build something there. So it seems like there is some kind of delay, I guess, that you're placing it on chain, but maybe the user interface is like catching up to figure out where everything is.
Yeah, so
it's part of that queue that Jesse mentioned. That's correct.
So what he just said is what I was just saying, right? Like I placed the altar, which is where you get your daily free money, basically. If you have land, you get free money every day by going to the altar and pressing it, and it throws these gems all over the place. You collect them, and you can turn those into money. How much money we'll see, nobody knows, but the goal is to just see how it works, right? Like at the end of the day, if I recoup 0.1% of my investment every day, it's going to take me a certain amount of days before I recoup my investment. Just like anything else, real estate is the same way. You spend $400,000 on a property and rent it out, it's going to take you a certain amount of time before you get your $400,000 back, right? And that's why I look at these games and think very, very similar to real estate. So right now, I'm learning how to cash flow off my property, which is these, and I'm growing the value of them. Eventually, I can sell them, right? It's the same idea, but there's many more people that can interact with this because my property in the Dominican Republic can only take one group of people per day, right? I can't have 1,000 people use my property every day. This I can have 1,000 people use my assets every day and make money off those 1,000 people using my asset. That's why I believe I could probably make more money with investing less money in this game, this one game. There's many that I've invested in. Okay, so let's see what they're talking about.
Yeah, I was in District 28, but I am also jumping from parcel to parcel so that I can put the altars. Although on this one, I am waiting to see what this queue thing is like because it's placing the altar, but it's it hasn't been placed yet.
Definitely an alpha thing. It's definitely an alpha thing to have all this stuff happen at once today, kind of see where it's going to be in the future.
It's a little clunky on how you choose where things are going to be.
I think we all know this intuitively, but I just checked on Polygon Scan, and we are the top user of Matic in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're probably boggling down this blockchain, but again, all this technology is brand new.
It's pretty epic, though. It's always kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing, right?
Publicity is good publicity sometimes, and when you're the top user of gas on Matic, it usually means you're doing something.
Yeah, especially when it's not bots. We're all actually humans doing it, so it's pretty cool in that sense.
Absolutely. There's really no reason for bots to even be in here right now. Unless,
So, as you hear, the Polygon Matic coin token actually is, well, it's more coin is really being used in this game. It's the top used coin. I mean, this game is the top used thing in the Matic blockchain, Polygon blockchain. That means this coin is going to be used a lot for this game. So for me, that means invest a little bit more in Polygon, right? Again, because if this game works, Polygon's going to grow, the Ghost token is going to grow, and both are collateral assets. So I made a little chart actually. This is a chart to show you if the collateral assets on Polygon reach back to their all-time highs of the last year. So okay, if these assets, these are the 10 collateral assets for Aave. This is again why I say creating generational wealth. If you put $1,000 in each one of these collateral asset coins, the next time all these coins reach all of their all-time highs, which not financial advice, I believe they will all do that. I don't know how long. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. 10,000 will turn into 100,000. That's if they just reach their all-time highs, which that's not really what happens in crypto. It usually goes like this. So they'll really multiply their all-time highs every time there's a pump. It doesn't just go back to the same amount. It passes it by a lot. So I said, okay, what happens if it reaches 2 times his all-time high? If you had $1,000 in each, you get to 200,000 here. If you had 10,000 in each here, you get $2 million from 100,000. This is more likely what happens. This is what has happened in the past. Tokens actually do more than 3x their all-time high every time there's a pump, a 4-year pump. Look at the numbers here. With 1,000, you have 309,000. With again 10,000, that means if you put 100,000 today, and they reach their all-time high times a 3x, you have $3 million. Again, normally it takes about 4 years. That's why I say this investment to me is a 4-year investment. I'm not sure if I'll have 100,000 in all of these coins. That's going to be my goal. I need to move things around. I probably could do that, but not right this second, because that means I have to sell a lot of things and I have to decide what to sell, and I haven't decided, right? But I plan to make Ghost help me get there, right? So, and I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. All right, so that's why this is interesting. Okay, so I did place that, right? All right. Oh, so it is there. Let's see. Can I channel? Yeah. All right, let's see if they're saying what to do.
On the Bazaar, it was still blue. Like it wasn't a parcel that I owned, but it spawned me there. It wouldn't let me build.
Yeah, but there's no prompt saying that it's locked or anything. Like if you were to equip something to or try to equip something to a gotcha that's listed on the Bazaar.
No, it just says that you can't build here.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, Kong will definitely find out that answer. I am also not quite sure what the answer is for that one.
Right, I appreciate it.
By the way, congratulations on that land parcel win.
Hey, thanks so much. That was super excited. I was not expecting to win that. Really appreciate it.
It's a pretty fun experience to be able to have everybody involved with it. So I love doing those giveaways, and it's pretty cool when I get to see the excitement, like for yourself.
Yeah, you see the giveaways all the time online, and you never really know if it's
if it's true or not. It seems like they're saying they're giving stuff away, but then
really does it actually?
know if they actually get them. So yeah, they actually get them.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
check
quick
out
message.
some,
I've got to hop off for a quick call related to other Gotchiverse goodness. But I hopefully can rejoin here in about 15-20 minutes. So big love, everybody. Super excited for this launch. The bugs are being worked out as we speak, and channeling is still on the menu. So stand by for that. And can't believe we're here, fam. This is awesome.
I agree. So basically, I'm gonna keep listening in to see, because basically I was looking for the same thing, like why can't I channel? But it's because it doesn't work yet. This is, like I said, this is the process. I've launched many projects, and when you launch, it's when you see the fun, because you see the actual users come in, and you have to, be ready to fix things. Wow. A lot of go. There's a lot. Matic. The price of Matic transactions are growing very, very fast. So this is blockchain technology, right? And again, we're very, very early, so we have to understand that process and be okay with the not perfect working pieces, right? And that's where, again, we're early. This is pioneer stuff. If I'm right, we're right, everybody invested in this game is right, we can make a lot of money, right? But again, we're dealing with the problems as before most people do, right? By the time most people start playing this game, all this stuff will be very smooth, and of course they will be making less money than we did, right? Because we invested early. When you invest in innovation early, you reap the best reward out of anything, right? If you were an early investor in Uber, you made millions, maybe billions of dollars. If you were an early investor in Airbnb, you are rich. But when people were investing in that, some people thought those people were crazy. Those ideas would never work. There's no way a cab company is going to be able to operate in New York City with the cab cartel. It worked, right? YouTube. There's no way people are going to let any video be online without copyright. YouTube, one of the biggest companies in the world now, right? The gaming industry is coming after them through this system. NFTs, blockchain, play and earn. Like I said, 3.2 billion people on the planet play games. I think that will grow once people understand that you can make a few bucks playing games as well. They're not only fun, you can actually make money. I don't know if everybody's going to be able to make a living, right? You may need to invest more, like I did with assets, than just playing to actually make livings. But again, there's more options, just more options to make money and live a good life, and hopefully create generational wealth. That's the goal. Did I place this? I don't even know. No, I think I did. Oh no, maybe I didn't. All right, let's see something. All right, so my other one is there. I didn't get it into the center. This is where, being early, I'm glad I didn't, right now there's people that are placing golden altars, which cost they were like $700 to make them. Those are $700 NFT that was just a flex to say, hey, I was one of the early people playing this game, so I have a gold version of this. I didn't buy that because I don't need the flex. As I said I think I tweeted it, flashy people where I come from don't make it. So I'm trying to profit. I don't need the flashy stuff. So I am going to place the free one, because why would I pay $700 for something I can get for free? So I guess I did not place that. Let's try it now. Let's listen into it.
Channeling on them today, and then once I have all my Alchemica, my cut, I'm gonna take that over to my parcels, and then I'll start working on them probably later today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. I feel like it's gonna be a long day.
I feel like we're like the pioneers. Like we just got off the ship, And now we're like, all right, let's get to work. Let's start sawing some trees down here and start building a lodge and a cabin and whatever.
Thank goodness.
Just getting into our element.
Thank goodness it's a Gotchi verse which has air, so we got off the ship and we can breathe.
All right, so you see, this is little Hoki.
Yeah, exactly. It's relief.
All right, so I'm gonna have to just put it.
He followed by
It's been running smooth now. Like there's a new animation from when I put down the installation, and like I just placed the altar like 30 seconds ago, and it's done. So that's kind of cool. I got the confirmation that it went. So I'm gonna just keep going through and
Let's see. Yeah, it went through. All right, so I just did it on 3 of my.
On the front page though, there's like this weird bug. I have 28 gotchas now, but it's only letting me see the first 12.
So I'm not gonna do probably all of my land right this second. I think I'm just do these 3 channel because I only have 3 ghosts, right? So it doesn't make sense to put all of them because I'm not gonna be able to channel on them. Unless it makes sense with the Gotchi vault. Let me see what's going on with the Gotchi vault. Actually. But I don't know. Like he said, there's really no benefit to putting your land in the Gotchi vault right now. If I was gonna get some type of financial reward, it would make sense. But I don't. Ooh, realm for deposit. But what do I get for that? You will be charged a small fee for depositing your parcels. If this is your first time, yeah, I mean, there's no benefit financially for that. But again, I had Dr. Wagney on the show. I'll reach out to him and see what the plan is. I think what they're saying is people can channel on them, and it means more money for the ecosystem. That makes sense, but it's just going to take a while to put these on all my lands, and I have to move them around because I don't have everything in one wallet. I highly recommend you in crypto not do that because things happen. People do the wrong thing, and then their wallet gets hacked, and you lose everything. So I don't want to have one wallet with everything in it. So I got to really figure out what my plan is for this land thing. Yeah, I won't figure that out right this second. I'm just gonna do these 3, and I'll think about it and see how it's going. I'll just rent out my characters for the rest of the day after I channel. See how much money I make by channeling, and then I'll rent them out. And so we started this around 10, I guess, but still not really technically started. I have a meeting. I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to do this, but right now, I set up the opportunity to channel on my parcels. Once they are live to channel, I will channel and then I'll rent them out. Hopefully, I can do all that on video. And then I'm gonna show you how I plan to manage my business, right? So the idea is I have this chart. Right, so this is the chart of how much I've invested in this game business right here, this Aavegotchi one. So when I first bought the assets, Ghost was about average of $2. So I've spent about $25,000 on assets for this game. Now, because Ghost went down in price, the value of those assets are 19,000. So again, this is the ups and downs of crypto, right? If you look at the dollar value of this stuff, it'll scare you, right? Because that's $6,000 less. I could have had that $6,000 here. But what do I believe is going to happen? I believe that 19,000 will go very, very up, over $100,000. I truly believe that. I could be wrong, and of course, I don't believe it's going to happen in a month, in 6 months. I believe over the next 4 years that number is going to be significantly higher. But my real goal is to get more of this. This is the Ghost token, right? Ghost token right now is a collateral asset. If I had this money in Aave, I could borrow off of it and buy other assets, right? But what's my goal? I told you I want to take this money, turn it into a real estate property. So let's say there's a real estate property I want to buy for 150K. This money gets up to 200,000, 250,000. I can borrow off of this money and buy this property. And that's the plan, right? Create assets that get you more assets, right? So this is a business that I look to create revenue streams that will buy me more assets that create more revenue streams, right? It's gonna take time, but creating generational wealth is not a quick thing. You have to keep buying assets that get you cash flow so you can buy more assets. And what the goal is eventually you get to a point where all of your assets cash flow enough to pay your monthly bills no problem and then some, and then you're financially free, right? But there's many different routes here, right? When you look at this cryptocurrency world and this borrowing and decentralized finance, you can get there even faster than the old world, because what you can do is you can borrow your monthly cost every month and then pay it back over time. So think about this. I've said this many times in different formats, but let's say your bills are, I just wish this was the case again. I don't even remember it ever being this, but let's say your bills are $1,000 a month and you work and you make $1,500 a month. Math easy. Let's make the math even easier. $2,000 a month. So you make $2,000, but your bills are $1,000. Every month you're working, spending that money because that other $1,000 goes eating, gas, whatever. So month starts out. Imagine being able to borrow that $2,000. Use it, no stress. And as you work and you get paid, you pay back that $2,000 loan to yourself. Not talking about payday loans. I'm not talking about going to the bank and hoping they give you a loan. I'm talking about creating your own bank where you don't have to ask anybody. You don't have to talk to anybody. You have the money in seconds. So your bills are $2,000 a month. You get your bank collateral assets to $24,000, and you could borrow your entire year. And now you get to choose. Do I have to keep this job that I hate? Maybe I take 6 months and look for another one. Or maybe I suck it up and make it 2 years. So now I have 48,000 in here that I can borrow off of $2,000 a month. Now that's 2 full years that you don't need another dollar to come in and you can pay your bills. But let's say you do work and you pay back those loans, you can start becoming more and more financially free. And then let's say you start investing some of that in some cryptocurrency coins that grow in value. Now your 48,000 becomes 100,000. And you can see how over time that 100,000 turn into 500,000. And if you keep your bills at $2,000 a month, which most people won't, but if you did, you're financially free, right? So now multiply that by probably in New York 5, 6, right? That's what you got to look at. And if you get there, and I don't really see many things being possible to get there faster than businesses like this. Right? These are early stage innovative businesses with whole new markets, global, right? Right now, there's people playing these games everywhere in the world. Everybody's gonna be making money together. People who own the assets will make money off lending those out, and make money just by owning them. And the value of those will also grow. Very similar to real estate, right? Like I rent out my Airbnb to people from all around the world. They have to fly in, stay at my place. I got to fix things when they're broken. I got to deal with all that. And that's fine. That business works and it's doing well. But I think this is easier and it's going to cost me less. Could be wrong, but without risk, there's no reward, right? So I'm taking the risk. I'm putting it live on YouTube. And once I see it work, we'll see what happens. What's the next step? But right now, this is the first day of it being even possible, right? So this is the first game of many that I plan on doing this with. But this game, I've already started testing it before I started doing this. Like I said, I made over $200 lending out my characters. And that's just one part of this game. And it's not even the most lucrative part of this game. The most lucrative part of this game is the land. It's being released right now. So when I combine understanding that I made $200 renting out 2 ghosts, Aavegotchis in about 2-3 weeks. Now I have 3 ghosts, but I also have 15 pieces of land that I believe I should be able to make money on every day. My true goal was to get to $100 a day through all of these assets. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see how long it takes. Maybe I need more assets. Again, if I can get to $100 a day, how much is that a year? It's over $30,000 a year, right? So I just told you, I invested $25,000. If I can get to $100 a day, then I'll make $30,000 a year. So if 25,000 gets me $30,000, a good investment, right? Because if you did that same thing with real estate, let's say today I bought a real estate property for $100,000. Very unlikely that in the first year I'm making $100,000 back on that real estate property. More realistic is about 5 years, right? So again, reverse engineer, I believe I can get my investment back in 1 year, then cash flow, profit, full profit. And if I want to, at any point, I could sell some of these assets off as well, right? So at a gain, hopefully. But we'll see. Again, this is the risk we take as innovators, right? Like, and I think for me, there's multiple reasons. I'm also going to, my kids, my sons are going to be my business partners in this business. They play video games every day. So another benefit to this business is I get to teach them about creating financial freedom for themselves as young as 12 and 8, right? They get to start seeing, okay, we just made $100. What should we do with this $100? Should we put it in as collateral in our bank and get interest? And if we want to buy something, we borrow off of that instead of using the cash. That's what rich people do. So the sooner I start teaching them how to think about cash flow and creating assets, the better off they'll be. You know, like growing up where I grew up, and my parents didn't really understand that. They just didn't teach us this stuff, right? So they didn't get taught it. But now information is everywhere. You can learn this stuff. Implementing it is a whole nother thing, right? So another reason why I like this type of business is, like I said, if today I wanted to buy a real estate property, what would I have to do? I would have to go to a bank, make sure my credit is right, have 20% down for interest. I mean, for the down payment. There's a lot of hurdles for the normal person. This game, all you need is a few bucks, put it in crypto, and you buy your asset and you're making money right away. That's if you want to be an investor. If you want to play the game, all you have to do is go to this Aavegotchi lending, pay. This is like 10 cents, maybe less. So you can play this game with 10 cents and make money. You're going to most likely make more than the 10 cents. Keep doing this. Over time, you'll have money. You grow that money, you'll start getting to the place where you can buy your own assets and rent them out. What does that sound like? Real estate again, right? Like you start small, get to the point where you can buy your own property, right? Same thing. And this is where I see the opportunity to teach my kids, to teach the kids we work with at Meta Bronx. And again, let's see where it goes. But I'm hoping that the channeling is there now. Let's see what they're saying. All right, so let's go back to the Gachibos. All right, so I'm gonna exit build. Okay, so right now the 3 lands I have active have the channeling altars.
Yeah, I'm a channel with my Gachi that's a 700 now, so I want to just get a baseline. I have 4.18 KEC, 44 alpha. This wallet, so we'll see.
That's okay. I can tell you exactly how much.
Oh, look at that! Right now, we're about to do it.
No, don't. I want the magic, not the math.
Channel alchemicals. This is the first time we're gonna make money in this business. It's the first time ever we make money in this business of the Aavegotchi and the Mass Ideation Games business. This is historic because it's gonna be $1 million business one day. All right, so let's see. Let's see how much money we actually make. Let's see what happens. So right now what's happening is it's going to the blockchain. Am I going to have to pay a gas fee to channel? That's interesting. Yes, I am. All right, so I got to pay Matic gas fee. So that means the Matic coin again, it's going to be in demand. Polygon Matic, that coin is going to be in demand, meaning the more it's used, the more valuable it gets, the more the price goes up. So, all right, let's see what happens with this drop. Did it happen already? All right, let's see. I have to wait to the blockchain. So the way this game works is once a day, the ghost you own and the land you own, you can get the free money, right? It's called the channeling. So every day, the ghost you own can only channel once per day. So I'm channeling on my land because I could rent it out and let someone else channel on some other land, but then I make a percentage, but here I can make it all, right? So that's, again, depending on how long this takes every day, I'll just do it. And depending on how much money it makes too, right? Because it doesn't make sense financially to spend, let's say it takes an hour to do this and I make $5. Not worth it, right? I'd rather just let somebody else do it and make $1. And I'll get to spend that time doing other things to make money, to make more money than $5 an hour, hopefully, right? So that's where, again, as a business, you got to think about that, right? So to me, in the beginning, it does make sense because I'm creating content as well, right? So this is where I'm taking this investment and I'm having many different tentacles on how it can make me money. The first one is the actual money I make playing the game. Second one, the assets growing in value as the game gets more popular. The third one is taking the actual money that I make in the game, putting it into a decentralized finance bank and growing the value of that collateral, right? The fourth one is this is a metaverse where many people are going to be. So I can draw attention to other businesses here. They're going to allow you to put NFTs on this land. There's going to be communities. I already started talking to the community. I've been on stage with the DAO. I'm growing a network. Your network is your net worth, right? So I'm in a small community right now where it's very easy to meet everybody. As this community grows, it becomes much harder, right? So I've seen that multiple times and I'm taking advantage of it early. Fourth is I am streaming it, right? So if this stream gets a lot of views, I can monetize that way, right? So if YouTube starts paying me pretty close, that's another revenue stream, right? Because I'm streaming it. Then there's another revenue stream. I actually teach people how to create decentralized finance banks, right? If I get clients for that, that's another revenue stream. I'm doing courses. If I sell a couple courses a month because I'm streaming this, that's another revenue stream, right? So when I think about an investment, I'm not just saying, okay, here's the investment. Hopefully it goes up. I'm thinking, okay, what are the risks? What are the different ways I benefit? Not just off it, right? Like if I never make my $25,000 back, but I meet somebody in the community where I know I can do business with them and make the $25,000 there, then it was worth it. But again, that means you have to have this mindset of multiple ways of benefiting from an investment, right? So when I look at an investment, whether it's something like this, an early stage startup, my own time in a startup, I think, okay, what are the worst case scenarios? What's the risk? What are the mitigations to that? Then what are the secondary ways I could benefit from this investment if I never make the money back, right? And I'm going to bring you some of those too, because I just completed the process of doing another one like this, and I'll create a whole separate video on that. But this is how you got to do it. You keep creating assets that you look to create generational wealth for yourself, right? So in other investment types, the value of that investment grows. It's not like this though, right? Where every day I expect to see some type of little return. The other types of investments, you put the money there and you look every year to see what happens. Some will give you a yearly return, some won't. There's many different types of investments. But I think to really make it, you have to be in all of them. You have to understand all types. Right now, I'm not that into stock. The only way I get stock is by working on companies. So I'll work with a company and gain stock that way. But I don't buy stock. I buy crypto and I buy real estate. That's my wealth generation plan. I'll use the crypto because I think the crypto has the best chance of growing and outpacing all other investment types. I'll put most of the money in there, let it grow, borrow off of that collateral of the crypto to buy real estate. And then I'll keep working on companies, gaining more stock, and hopefully some of those companies eventually one day get to the point where that stock is very valuable. That's my own personal wealth generation plan. That takes a lot of different skill sets, a lot of different relationships, and I've been building that for many years. It's not really normal for everyone to do that, but I just channel, I don't even know. But if you are starting, this is why I think this type of business is so beneficial. You don't have to do any of the other stuff I just told you. You only need to go buy these assets, come into this game, rent them out, and if you benefit from the growth of the value of the assets, you can sell the assets, make your money back. You can keep playing the game, making money. This is why I think this is such a game changer. This puts everybody in the step in the shoes of early stage investors. And I am an early stage investor in this game. I invested $25,000 early in this game. And in the old venture capital world, you invest $25,000 in an early stage idea, you have to wait 7 to 10 years and hope the idea worked. That was the way it works. And it still does right now. That's how it works. You can invest 25,000, you can invest 5, you can invest whatever, depending on the relationship. So if I did the same 25,000 in a startup, if it worked in 7 to 10 years, I would be returned probably 40 times my money. That's like a normal, 7 to 10 years, the money is worth 40 times what you put. So let's say I invested 25,000, and this is a risk, right? Because right now I could invest this 25,000 in another idea. I could. 25,000 times 40, it's $1 million, right? So from 25,000 in 7 to 10 years, you can have $1 million. Why am I looking at this and thinking similar? I showed you the chart, right? Let me show you the chart again. All right, here's the chart. If I look at what I plan to do with the money I make with this game, I plan to put it in these 10 assets. I hope I can get these 10 assets to $100,000 from this game, and of course from other new money. If all these coins just reach back to their all-time high, $1 million. Normally that happens every 4 years. I told you 7 to 10, maybe I'll get the $1 million from that startup. With this, there's many different opportunities to make sure that happens, right? One, I got the game. It's going to cash flow for me, hopefully enough, so I could put this money in here. But worst case scenario, I get the money in here. I'm banking on 10 different projects, right? So let's say one of these projects doesn't work. Still pretty close. Like let's say any of these go away, even the highest ones. I'm still pretty close, right? And that's where I'm saying I'm like diversifying my opportunity to get there versus just putting money in one thing and hoping. I'm putting my money in many different things here that have varying chances of success, right? So when I think about it, I think this is a little bit safer, right? It's a lot safer. It's crypto. So everybody looks at crypto and thinks it's risky. But right now, there's definitely a project right now that I could have put $25,000 into that I'm wondering, right? Like, should I have put $25,000 into that project and maybe put what I was going to invest in that project and this project. The reason why I made that decision is this is more liquid, meaning I can pull out my investments anytime I want. So if I don't like the way this game is going and I think the peak has made it, I can just pull my money out. I can just sell all my assets, sell everything, and have the cash. Versus that other idea, if I put the 25,000, there's many ideas that I can invest in, but the one that I'm really thinking about, if I put that money in, it's gone until I can get the money back, maybe. So that's where I decided to do this, because there's some level of opportunity to pull it back out if I needed to, if I wanted to. It's not going to be easy either, but it's easy. It's impossible in the other ideas. So this is where you have to start thinking like this, right? Like, let me listen in to see what's going on with the challenge, because I pressed it.
Consensus, that's a good thing, because if you're looking to either collect the Alchemica or get the spillover or focus on your farming or just socializing with select people that you're intentionally congregating with, that should all work out well. But in terms of like traffic of more people to just feel like it's more alive with other players, that is definitely going to take time.
Oh, so look at that. They did give it to me. So check this out. So this is what happened. I got it, but the rest of it spilled everywhere.
You were talking about the first.
So the rest of the coins went so far around that I didn't even see it. I thought they would come like within my visual, but they didn't. So that is interesting, right? What that means is, as I channel, these coins are going to go all over the place and I won't see it. So that, all right, I'm here waiting for it to happen like it's going to show me, but it definitely didn't. All right, so that's interesting to understand. So what I got to do now is, because I already wasted my daily channel for this character. Let's see if I can try to see something else. Press E. Press E. Would you like to channel? Let's see what it does. See if it lets me. Again, this is early gameplay, so it may let me cheat the system, but I got it. This is all blockchain stuff. There you go. Gotchi can't channel yet. So because I channeled, I have 24 hours before I can channel again. So what I have to do is I have to log out, refresh, pick a different ghost, and then we're going to calculate how much money I made doing this, right? It's not going to be $1 million, but let's see. And then I have a chart in my calculator that tells me, okay, I recouped a certain amount of my investment back today. Then what I'll know is, over time, I'll keep recouping a percentage of that investment. Hopefully it gets faster and faster as I grow these assets, right? All right, so let's see. Wow, so but that's interesting. I couldn't even see one gem. That's pretty crazy. All right, so let's do this one now. All right, there's also a bug with the zoom in. All right, so let's do this. All right. Channel. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, gas me. So this is the thing. This is going to cost a lot of Matic, right? So if I had more ghosts and I had one per property, it will cost a lot. Diamond function does not exist. All right, so Diamond is a technology that allows you to nest multiple blockchain contracts, smart contracts into one. Yeah, I know. Matic dropped, but everything dropped, right? Everything dropped. So you know, Matic, the price of Matic. Let me see. Actually, the price of Matic dropped. Let's see if the price of Matic dropped. I'm looking here. So. Wait. Where is it? Matic for the first time at 30 cents. So it was about 2x of where I bought it before. But this is why you got to take the lesson and sell whenever things are up. Not everything. You don't sell your entire bag, but like I said, I bought Matic when it was around here. Then it went up to here, and I did not sell any of it. And then it came right back down here, and I was like, oh, man. But that's where I learned as fast as things go up, they come down. So I started selling. And that's why I have money to invest in things like this now. Because I sold. If I didn't, I'd have double my money only right now. But at this point, I had a lot more than double my money, right? So this is where you have to be in it to win it and learn these lessons. All right, so let me go back into the Gotchi verse and see if I spawn randomly. No. Okay. So right now I'm going to see if I can channel again on the next land. So these 4 coins, these 4 I just got for free. I'll show you how much value that is once I'm done with all 3 that I'm channeling today. And then I'm going to decide how much I'm going to rent out the characters for the rest of the day, and I'll be making money as they play as well. So tomorrow I'll look in the morning and see all day how much it really made. All right, so let's see. Where am I? Come on here. District 29. All right, something's wrong here. I can't even see any land. All right, again, buggy. You gotta accept the bugginess, right? We're pioneers. Pioneers get slaughtered. All right, so I don't know Matic. You have to refresh. I'll try one of my other things. Try this one. I'm gonna go into this land because I don't think I channeled on that one. You cashed out everything? Yeah, of course. You should have cashed out. I mean, not every. It's hard to. Nobody could time the top, right? So when the Beast is talking about he should have cashed out at 283, I know personally, I thought it was going much higher than that. So I was like, where can I buy a private jet? But definitely came right back down to not even car money. All right, so let's see if I could. Okay, so that's this. E channel. All right, so the way it works is each of these ghosts has a different stat level, and based on the stat level, you get more or less coins. So this one, I don't even know. I don't know what each one has right now, but I just want to do one for each, see how much they give me, so then I can kind of know that that's a kind of a baseline of what I can expect every day at minimum. Again, this is a business, right? So how many businesses can you create? And on the day you create it, you start to cash flow. not to say profit, but cash flow. Not many. Trust me. I have a nonprofit, for profit. I'm involved in many, many different types of businesses, and can't even think of one where the day you start, you make money. And of course, make money. I'm not making $1,000 of this. I'm making probably a few bucks. But again, a few bucks turns into multiples of a few bucks, right? If you can make $1, you can make 100. So you got to start by making one, though, right? All right. So I don't know where these other coins may be, if they even show me at all. Problem with the zoom up. So this was happening in the other times where, as you walk, the character zooms in. Let me see. All right, that's easier. So I'll just move it with the mouse. All right. So I channeled on 2 of the properties. Let's see how much money, how many coins. Then we're gonna take that number and put it into the charts. Put it into CoinGecko and see how much actual money that became. All right, see, now I got more, right? More CAC, more all of them. Okay, so now we're talking here. And now I'm going to go to the 3rd place. I got to leave and come back. I got to pick a different ghost for each land. This is where it's not easy. Nothing is easy, right? You can't expect to make a business and it's just easy. No business is easy. All right, so now I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to do it. But then, you know what? I may want to look at my properties, but I don't have any there. So I have a few properties in the main area, which is District 1, where most people are. Like right now, 2,000 people are playing this game. Okay, so let's see what happens. All right, so after this one, I'm gonna take CoinGecko and I'm gonna check value. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. So here's another thing about this project, right? Is they give you 4 different types of coins, right? So the 4 different types of coins. The 4 different types of coins, they have different prices, right? So I'll show you. So these are the 4 coins. So you saw Keck. Those are the different things that they gave me. These are the prices, right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how much of each they gave us. And as you can see, this is 50 cents. And I already got a good amount of those. I mean, it's not gonna be a lot. If I make $5 right now, I'm gonna be shocked. Oops. All right, so let's see. It went in already. Yeah, all right, went in. All right, so we got 7.79 Keck, 19.475 alpha, 38.95 .95, and then 77.9 FUD. So, all right, let's see how much money that is. So Keck, it was 7.79. So $3.84. So I'm definitely making more than $5, like I said. All right, so then alpha was 19.475, 19.475, 490 right there. It was $5 right there. Oh, that's kind of crazy. Think about it. All right, now the next one is FUD 77.9, $1.89. And then FOMO is 38.95, 164. All right, so now we're gonna do a little calculator. A little calculator work. So we got $3.84 plus $4.90 plus $1.64 plus $1.89. $12.30. So I'm gonna tell you something, right? I haven't even started renting the character out today. I will make more by renting the character out. My Airbnb right now is listed for $60 a night. Right? I spent a lot more than $25,000 on that. So think about this, right? Today I'll probably make $15 to $20 off a $25,000 investment. If that continues, this is a better investment than the real estate property. Right? Okay, I'll give you an example. I think total probably around $100,000 I spent on the Airbnb. $100,000 to make $60. $25,000 to make $20. So if we did the math, it was just 3 times the investment, right? So 20 times 3, that means $75,000 it costs to make the same amount of money. So as you can see, if this continues, and I actually think the prices will go up on all of it. So, and I haven't even activated all my land, right? That's just 3 pieces. I have 12 more, right? And I haven't rented out the characters. So, and they haven't put in place the main way you're going to make money off your land, which is they're going to have these little farming things that you just activate them and it collects money for you. So if you do the math, of course, you guys can follow along as I continue to do it. This is the first day where just the channeling is a thing. I showed you that's the first part. This is the second part. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to rent out. Oh, session expired. What was that about? All right, so now I'm going to look at renting them. So I'm going to go to Gotchi Lending. So you go to Aavegotchi. Aavegotchi.com. Enter app. Gotchi Lending. Now let's see how much people are letting these things be rented for. Look, 1.15 for the owner gets 10%. 3 hours, 0.15, not bad. 0.2, 4 hours, 25%. 0.2, 25%, 4 hours. So what I see is if I was going to just try to be under, I would maybe, because this was what was also happening to me before. Even when I made like $200 renting them out, but people were just buying them and not playing. So I was just making 0.1 ghost, which is like 0.1 ghost. It's 15 cents. But nobody was playing, and the real goal is for them to play, and then you make part of those gems they make too. You saw I just made $12 in gems. So if people are playing and they make $12 and I could get 20% of that, that's better than getting 15 cents, right? So the big thing you have to do is have a balance of making it expensive enough so people are going to actually play. Because if you make it too cheap, people just buy it to keep those those Aavegotchis out of the system so other people collect more coins. So this is where like there's a strategy. This is like 5-layered chess here. So when I look at this and I say, okay, looking at what people are lending out right now and through my past experience, if I put it under this, more than likely people are going to just borrow it and not play. So the more you make it worth their while to actually play, the more money you'll make, right? If you're too greedy, they'll just buy it and not use it. So you just make that 0.2 ghosts, which 0.2 ghosts is 30 cents, right? 30 cents. Not bad, right? At the end of the day, let's say this is 4 hours. So let's say every 4 hours, I get 30 cents. 4 times 6 equals 24. 30 cents times 6. Let's do the math. 30 cents times, that was 180, right? $1.80. 30 cents times 6. $1.80 per ghost per day. So that's another 180 times 3. It's another $5.40. So that would take me close to $20 again, right? I said 12 plus 5. That's without them actually getting other extra coins too. So again, it's going to get me to about $20, right? I get $20 a day before the land, which is the main way you're going to make money, comes out. I should get to 100. I should get to $100 a day. Again, we'll see. But I have to decide what I'm going to do here. What should I do? Anybody watching have any ideas? Definitely give me some feedback. All right, so make it 0.2, 4 hours, 20%. Really, I will make 15% because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the Gotchi vault and they take 5%. But I'm also a partner in the Gotchi vault because I bought their token. So every time people play along the Gotchi vault, I make a percentage of that profit. And I'll show you that later. But I won't get into that now. But I'm already doing that on another wallet. But I'm going to make this a separate wallet where we see from day one how much we make. What's the best thing to do? Let me refresh to see if people are renting actually. The cool thing is you can also see on the blockchain what people are doing. All right, so that's the latest, but the lowest. All right, so the lowest now is the 0.21. What I might do, I'm thinking I'm gonna make it 0.15. And I'm going to make it, I get 15%. This way, the player gets 80. And hopefully that's an incentive enough. Again, we're going to test it. We'll see. If nobody does it, I'll just change it. All right, so let's go back in and do that. All right, so now I go to a site called Gotchi Vault. And I go in and I go to my profile. I go to my wallet. These are my 3, right? I batch select, add to batch, add to batch, add to batch. Deposit. So now I'm putting it into the system where people can borrow from it. But then I have to set the settings of how much I'm willing to lend it out for. So I'm going to go into that once this is finished. This is the blockchain. It takes a few seconds, you know. It's not instant. So here, I just don't know why I would do this. I don't see a reason to do it. I'm going to talk to the team, though, and see what there's a reason to do it. Okay, let's see if the blockchain finished. Again, any questions, anybody watching? I know this is a long video, but it is long because the launch happened, and it was buggy like most launches. So it's really interesting. I'm gonna take a screenshot of where it was before I rented. So I know I got it on video, but then after the rental tomorrow morning, when I go to start this up again, I'm gonna see where we're at. And we're gonna calculate again and see really how much money we made that day. And when I say we, I mean me. But the truth is, like, this stuff is not that expensive. I'm gonna show you. Look at the cheapest land you can get right now. The cheapest land and the cheapest ghost probably will cost you about $1,200 all in. So if you go Bazaar, let's go to the cheapest, $4.99. Go to Aavegotchi Ghost, $4.99 is $778 plus the cheapest land. And this is the thing. This is just a little bit of the game. Like, this game is going to be a lot more than what we see right now. So 99 ghosts. 99 ghosts. 778 plus 150. So about $778 plus 150. So let's say 850. So about $900. $900-ish dollars. $20 a day, right? Like that is not, well, again. I have 3. So that's not true. Divide that by 3. So let's say $7 a day, $6 a day. Off of 950, let's do the math. If you make $6 a day minimum, so you're not there all the way yet, we're gonna see the full. So let's just say 925 divided by $6. It's gonna take you 154 days to recoup your investment if you recreate those same numbers, right? Again, very variable, can't prove that you're gonna get exactly what you're gonna get, but those are pretty reasonable, right? So if you did that, 154 days, that's less than half a year to recoup an investment. Just told you with real estate, it takes 4 to 5 on average years to recoup your investment and then start really profiting. Less than half a year. That is pretty crazy. So again, we'll see. I do believe that this is a game-changing opportunity for many different reasons, but like I said, only time will tell. But I'm willing to. You're gonna watch videos like this for 4 years. I'm gonna have the whole history of it on the YouTube. All right, so now all 3 are in here to be rented. So then I go to management mode, and I say, let me zoom this in a little bit more. I say, okay, I want to configure. I want to set the settings. So what did I say? I was going to do 0.15, I believe I said. So I'm going to do 0.15 upfront ghost, which is 0.15, 23 cents per rental for 4 hours, for every 4 hours. Oh, damn, we did 0.1 here. And he did what I was about to do. Whoa, he definitely undercut. You see, this is where it starts to get interesting. Look at this one, 0.15 and 10%. The big thing that I learned is you got to incentivize people to actually play, because they'll just pay you the 20 cents and not even play the game. This is where creating a guild is important, right? So this is another thing I'm looking at doing. I think I'll create an area where if people want to play, I'll give it to them for free. If I look and see that they're using it, it's better than taking 20 cents and then they don't even use it, right? So to me, what I'll do is I'll start creating a list of people that say, look, if you're willing to play, reach out. I'll lend it to you directly instead of hoping somebody, because this is what was happening. I had, I would say about 30-40% of the time people rented it and didn't even play. And I still made like $200. And that's like almost 0.5% of the time people didn't even play with the character. So that was where I was like, all right, how do I get around that? And that's where guilds make sense, because these people, it's not just like faceless people. You know who's using it, and if they don't use it well, you just stop giving it to them, right? So there's people that want to be able to get ghosts whenever they want. And as this game becomes more popular, they want to create relationships with people like me that have the ghost. Not everybody could afford $700 to buy one of these Aavegotchi ghosts. But if they can build their way up over time by getting it for free, that's a win-win, right? Because I get to share in the profit that they make to pay back my loans. I mean my not loans, investment. It's a win-win. We're both winning on that. So I think I'm gonna have to do what this person is doing, a mix of this. I'm gonna do 0.1 and 10% for 3 hours. I'm gonna test that. Let's see that one. All right, so I'm gonna go back. 0.1 up front, duration 3 hours, and I'm gonna take 10%. So now when I see this whitelist, I can make a list of people that are allowed to rent this. I'm not sure if they get to rent it for free, or I think what happens is only these people on this list can rent it, even for whatever price I put it at. So it might be interesting to put 0 upfront costs, leave it in here as a white list, take the 10%, and then only people that are in my guild can come in and rent them out and use them, but they're not checked. And if your address is using it and you don't make any gems, I remove you from the whitelist, because that's not a benefit to me, right? Is, why would you even do that? I guess the real reason I've heard that people do that is, again, to keep less ghost around to collect the coins, the gems. Makes sense. It's a business, right? People are going to try to do things, whatever makes sense for them to make the most money. So, all right. So let's make sure I select all gotchis, right? And I set this for all of them. Save settings. This is going to cost me a gas fee. And maybe some ghost, actually. I might need some ghost. Yep. I'm going to need some ghost. All right. So let me get some ghost. All right, so I'm gonna withdraw. I definitely don't want to have any extra ghosts, so I don't confuse how much I made, right? So right now, this is gonna cost me 0.05. Just try to take you know what? I'm gonna just take out 1 and just know that I took out 1. When I say take out, I'm taking out of another bank. That's why I'm gonna move all this stuff to a new place once I move the money. So we see from scratch how much this is actually making, how much I'm building up the bank, and all that. I'm using other banks to power this right now. Man, Matic prices. This is really crazy. Okay, so I'm removing that. Set customer per gotchi every time you change the setting. Interesting. So there you go. Right there is going to cost me 0.15 to do this. Which is like 90 cents or something like that, or whatever, like 60 cents. But again, businesses cost money. There's cost, there's profit. Finished. still pending. The blockchain is getting hit by all the traffic. But this is all going to get better over time. The Matic blockchain is switching over to something called ZK rollups, which should make the fees less and speed up the process as well. This might take a while, but again, the earlier you invest in innovation, the more money you make. When that happens, Matic's price should go up. Ghost price should go up. So me buying Ghost, buying into this game now, when all these better things, easier methods of everything happen, more people should come into the ecosystem and grow the value of everything. So these struggles right now, sure, they cost me some time, but in the scale of all the coins I own, all the assets I own, I should be paid back well for that time. Hopefully, we'll see. But that's what I'm banking on. Again, just taking some time. Let's see what's happening if they're still in the chat. There they are.
Yeah, that's still pretty under construction, the SDK, but it's a priority, no doubt.
Just in a quick, because I have another meeting to jump to here in 9 minutes. In a quick answer, what do you think is our deficiency right now in the Gotchiverse, in the overall ecosystem between Pixelcraft, the community, everybody? Where are we as a community? Where are we weak right now? Where do we need some reinforcement?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I think kind of touched on this on the spaces yesterday too. It's something we've been thinking a lot about, and getting a framework where not just the DAO through like votes on an on-chain manner, but DAO in sense of community members who have competent, clear-minded plans can actually get funded or move forward and add value to the ecosystem. And so it sounds kind of like theoretical, but really what it comes down to is came through with these limited licensing agreements. So if you want to do something commercially based, if you want to basically launch your own for-profit with investors, whatever, like project or company that plugs into the Gotchiverse and Aavegotchi protocol, and it uses Aavegotchi IP. Now you're able to come in, just reach out to me or Pixelcraft, we'll get you set up. And now we're getting to a point where there's that framework where you can do commercial activities, you can do what you need, bring your business to the Gotchiverse. And so it's not necessarily inside the metaverse part of the game, it's actually in the real world aspect where we'd basically love to see 3 or 4 more Pixelcraft type caliber companies up and running and contributing and bringing value to the ecosystem. So
I plan on doing that as well. You saw what he said, that you can create other businesses around their IP and they share in the profits with you, they become your partner. Again, being early, right? In a year, that's not going to be as easy to do. I'm planning on tapping into that, right? Of course, that's what I'm saying. Like there's multiple levels of investment and multiple ways that you can recoup this investment. All right, so I just had to take one out because one thing I want to see is if I can upgrade my altar. Because if I can upgrade it right now, I'll let that go over however long it takes. Hopefully not more than a day. And I'll be at a level 2. Because then as you go up in levels, you make more money. So it costs coins to do that, but I have some now. So, and I bought from before. So what I'll do is I will. All right, so I'm withdrawing the character, so it's taking some time, but I need a character to go back in to test this out. But this is the thing, right? So I'm going to show you, and again, this is like very, very smart game. But let me see if I have it anywhere else. I'm going to go to the blog where they explain how all this stuff works. So when you look at this one, no, I don't think it's this one. No, it's not this one. They show you how as you grow the levels, you can make more money, right? So what is this one? Okay, so I think it's this one. Well, what happens is as you grow the levels, the rate that you keep is higher, right? So right now, I just whatever that was 50% of what they actually channeled. The rest went out into the world. 45 stayed with me. I mean, 50 stayed with me. So if I upgrade 45, I mean, 60, 55 stays with me. I go to level 3, it's supposed to be 40. I think that was a typo. 60% stays with me. So as you pay to grow your level, you stay with more of that daily money. And also, you can grow the other assets that are going to come out at the level at that this level is. So if your altar is a level 3, all your other assets can only go to level 3. So for me, the business model is going to be grow the altar as high as I think 6. I think I'll do 6 on the first three parcels, and then I'll make sure all my assets on those parcels reach to level 6, and then I'll be making probably 100 a day by that time. That's what I think. We'll see. Because if we do the math, let's actually do the math really quickly. If we do the math, and at level 6, I stay with 75%, and right now that was 50%. So I made 12. So 24 times 0.75. 24 times 0.75. $18 a day times 3. No, wait, that was okay. Yeah, $18 a day from 12. That makes sense, right? It was 12. Yeah, $18 a day times 365. Pretty close, and that's without any of the other stuff, right? We're talking about the ghost being rented, the other things that you create on your land that actually give you free coins every day too. It's going to start growing. Everything grows. I think I'll definitely pass the daily of what I make with the Airbnb. I'm pretty sure of that. The next thing is to see how high I can get it, and I think 100 is a good goal. If I get this to $100 a day, that's $30,000 a year. There's people that work full-time jobs to make $30,000 a year. Yes, I had to invest $25,000 to get that, but I'm not even telling you with all the assets. This is just 3 of the assets I bought. Those 3 assets were, I could tell you right now how much they cost too. Because again, running this like a business, I'm understanding how much I spent on everything. Let's look for the spreadsheet. That's not it. It's not it either. It's not it either. I close it. All right, let me pull it up again. So I would say it was at least $5,000-$6,000, probably, which is not nothing. But it's, would you spend $6,000 to make $30,000 a year? I would. All right, so let's see. Sorry, give me a second. There's so many spreadsheets, so many different businesses, so many different things. Windows. All right, here it is. Here it is. Okay. So what I actually spent on those first 3 was $5,000, $4,900. So if with those first 3, I can make $30,000 a year from a $5,000 investment, with a few clicks a day. You saw, I mean, and there's gonna be a lot less clicks than that because I had to build it and all that. All I'm gonna have to do is wake up, go to those three things, press it, and that's it. I mean, wait, but that's not true. This is with all the other stuff happening. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. How much is it worth it? I believe it will be. If it takes me, even if it takes me 2 hours a day to make $30,000 a year, that's worth it. That's worth it, right? So we'll see. And then of course I have three helpers that are gonna be part of this business that are gonna have to help me. All right, so that's that. Let's see if the land came back. I mean, I could. Got you those. Let's see. Still. Oh, it failed. All right. So, and here's another thing, right? When you use blockchain technology, you can pay a gas fee and then the transaction can still fail. So right now, I probably paid for that transaction and it failed. But again, probably a few cents versus Ethereum, like it's 0.02 Matic. It's like pennies or less. Versus Ethereum, every time you do a transaction, it's a lot more money, $30, $50, $100. That's why Polygon is so powerful, because literally cents. Again, new technology, so there's pros and cons. It's slow, especially when things are happening like this. They launch and bring a lot of people. And again, there's just many, many ways I look at this and I say, I have an idea of how I will reap my reward back. Let's see what they're talking about while we wait.
Pixelcraft, whoever the mechanism is, we just want to support the absolute best ideas to get funded, get a legal framework to run with, and organized so that it's not just Pixelcraft all day. We want a lot more of that. So.
All I meant was there's a lot of dumb, greedy people in this world, and I was just wondering.
You guys are here for you to take care of us, man.
Yeah, no, you make a good point. I mean, that's where you get like the kind of idea of like freeloaders, like, oh, I own one Aavegotchi, so now I can open up a franchise or something like that. That's not kind of.
We can have a Craigslist type community policing too, right? Gotchi gang sees some bullshit happen out there, they say something, and we'll get after it.
Exactly. There's also just community.
Show up at their house. That's no big deal.
Well, that hamburger stand down.
Do like Jay and Silent Bob and go beat everybody up that talk crap.
Hey guys, if you do have a good idea, like this is a really great conversation around, if you thought you had a good idea, you didn't know how to execute it, you didn't have access to the licensing, now you know how to do that. Maybe join GMI, like hop into the server. It's just a bunch of creative people from different backgrounds, and maybe you'll meet somebody that vibes with you, and you guys come up with a really cool project, and we can help you guys make that happen. So I'll just drop the link down in the chat here, and feel free to join us.
Yeah, I almost dropped $5,000 on an embroidery machine because I wanted to stitch Aavegotchis into like hats and sweaters and stuff.
So Ranger, man, you're so close to us. Just get over here in GMI and join the party, man, because that's the kind of investment that the group could make at a large level and offer capabilities to multiple different avenue projects instead of just if every single one of us that has that concept is going to be limited by embroidery machine ownership, then we're going to move slower than we could as together.
Hey guys, I want to stop. Everybody, please stop. We're getting a lot of questions because no one can log in, but we're not addressing it.
You're right. I'm also looking at that, and give me 1 second to figure out why and what's going on.
Do you think maybe it might be them updating for like actual Alchemica, like exploding everywhere?
There you go, right? So that was, we didn't see it because it wasn't working.
I mean, I'm still here in the Gotchiverse. I don't know if you guys got kicked out or what happened there. I know someone was saying also, they couldn't get in.
We're checking this out right now. Network Hustler.
Yeah.
Let's all
I'm
test.
chilling in the Gotchiverse.
Yeah,
My
try getting
login
in with Smooth.
Did we have a meetup for a game of tag or something while we're waiting?
Oh dang.
So much work.
Is it gonna take an hour to get there?
Just
Hey,
jump
yeah,
to
I
like
got
one
to
of
step
the,
on that boat.
just jump to one of the District 1 drop points everybody can get to.
Yeah, I was just joking.
Justin and Network Hustler, give us a little more context, man. Maybe just do the standard, close the browser, open it up, hard refresh, just try again. Sounds like a lot of us are still having success here.
Yeah, it would be helpful to get a little more information. So, like, do you see the portal open? Is it open, and when you click, you get an error? Like, what? If anybody has any more information, definitely need to place it. Or
So Kong, I thought it looked normal for me. Portal open, I see the open portal and everything. Selected my Gotchi, went to log in, walked to the portal, but the game is not loaded up. And I did get the kick out for the we had trouble logging you in. Please try to refresh again. And I do see the player count right now at a flat 1,000, which is kind of unique.
yeah, okay. The dev team's definitely checking on that, but that's good information. Thanks.
So for anybody who has never worked on technology projects, usually watching live, launching a product, and hearing the team dealing with the problems, man, this is like the only way you can see this stuff is if you work behind the scenes normally, right? Like normally companies are not that open about showing the craziness that happens behind the scenes, especially on the launch day. And that's another reason why I really like this project. Like this, the transparency is really, really there, right? And I've been there, sweating. I'm like, we gotta fix that. Let's figure out where the bug is. I've been behind the scenes, so it definitely is reminiscing. I'm reminiscing, but of course, this project is massive. I don't remember doing anything of this scale with this many different possible way of points of error. Right? You got the blockchain, you got your technology, you got all these NFTs. It's a lot. It's a lot. So all right, we're having trouble logging me in. I'm gonna wait it out. I have a meeting at 1, so I definitely probably should. You know what I think I'll do? I'm gonna rent out the other 2, and I'll just keep the 1, and I'll keep trying. Because basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can update all of those avatars, altars, so I can get to the higher points faster. I'll figure that out, and I'll keep you guys posted. I'll hang out to maybe like another 20 minutes, and then I'll jump to my next meeting. But let's listen along.
The logins, there's a bit of an overheating going on here, so they're working on it.
So you would have been lucky to be left in there, get all that alchemica?
I mean, yeah, maybe there's the 1,000 that remained.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to look at it with the Alchemica half empty, then yeah.
It's looking pretty sparse on my side though. I don't see anything. Maybe that's more of a District 1 thing. But
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been cruising and I haven't seen one piece, so it's a pretty big world out there, though. So it could be anywhere.
I have to correct myself. The devs are listening and they're correcting me as I make things up. So they are. Let's see here. They were overwhelmed with trying to spawn channeling Alchemica, but there is no Alchemica spilling over at this point due to some sort of conversion issue. They're working through that. It's the problem is the quantity attempted, but it's not actually, spawning in the game. So to Emperor's point, then no worries. Nobody is actually getting all the Alchemica to themselves. I guess that would be the.
It's all good. I wonder how much is that number of Alchemica? Do you know what that big huge number is?
I really don't.
1 million Alchemica.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I just set 2 of mine to rent at 0.1 up front for 3 hours, and I'm going to take 10% of the earnings. We'll see if that incentivizes people to play. I'll keep playing around with these numbers. I'll figure out where to settle. But right now, just want people to rent it and see if people make money. Again, they're dealing with problems in the game, so I'm not even sure how many people are actually going to be renting because there's no coins to be made right now, unless again in this Gachi vault there's so much land that you can go to in altars and channel and you get that money. So that's interesting. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna keep trying and we'll see what they say.
Watch over on Harmony, and now they deployed an Avalanche with DeFi Kingdoms. And the thing I want to highlight is the argument I get to have all the time, and I love the ability to take the stance on the Gachi side because you guys are ballsy and brave by letting the community have a grip on as much of the protocol as you're able to share. You know, DFK is starting to have issues right now with like possessiveness and sharing of the IP and license rights, and they're starting to run into that issue. And I'm watching the community growth be stifled because the protocol is concerned about trying to maintain control.
Oh yeah. To go back to what we were talking about earlier in this limited license we've been developing. So yeah, I mean it's there's room for there's like a middle way I think where it can't be a free for all and all the freeloaders just dilute the brand. And also there's this premise in legal structures where if you don't defend your IP, then when the day comes that you really try to defend it in court for a real reason that even the community is backing you on, but you lose because they say, well, you've never defended it up to this point. So it's like a watering down of the IP. It's a kind of crappy principle.
So this is where, you know, a lot of these projects are just starting out. Last year was the real first try of letting IP be shared through NFTs. So Bored Apes is a big version of that. But I was watching a video and it was talking about how it's not sustainable because if you don't have some type of legal structure, when somebody buys it, it's hard to ever defend it, right? So again, we'll see. All this stuff is so new. That's why it's exciting. There's going to be all kind of opportunities. But when a brand comes out like this and says, we're spending the legal money to figure out how to do this the right way. Of course, last year, everybody was just wild, wild west. But now, you know, we're going to see what happens. And I'm definitely going to try to be in there.
All right. Let's see if anybody else is refreshing and getting in. Actually, why don't I just try myself? I'm going to try to get in as well.
Golden Cross, are you still there, or are you checking out to immerse yourself in the Gotchiverse?
Yeah, I'm logging in right now. Why was
okay. Some people have asked about glitter. Anything we can share?
So right now I had turned off so people it doesn't relist my Aavegotchi. So now they turn it back on. Another gas fee. I must have spent at least a few bucks in Matic too. So that's another thing you have to calculate, and I will try. I'm not gonna be too crazy about it, but all these fees, right? Like if I spent $1 and I made 12, today I really only made 11, right? So and that 11 goes back to my profit. I mean my initial investment, not really the 12, right? So these are things that, you know, if this was a hot dog stand or whatever, you have to do math like that as an entrepreneur, right? But with this, it's just less. The gas fee is $1 though, and I think I should calculate it. And maybe what I'll do is I'll put in a certain amount of Matic every day or a week and see. All right, it took me 5 days to spend 10 Matic or whatever it is, right? Because another thing, Matic's price goes up and down. So if you put in 10 Matic when it's worth $1, and then it's worth 60 cents or it's worth $2, what did you spend? This is where it gets really mind bending. But the truth of the matter is, it's all opportunity. You can't be too nitpicky about, oh my God, I really made $10, not 12. The grand scheme of things, all this money is going to look ridiculously funny when we fast forward in 5 years. And hopefully the ghost token is not $1.50, it's $15, right? Matic is not 60 cents, it's $20, right? That's the hope. we'll see.
Aware of things such as impermanent loss, market action. There are some considerations when LP.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not for everybody.
It's honestly probably just, it's the riskiest way to kind of, with that impairment loss, it's one of the riskiest ways to invest.
So if someone starts wanting to cook up single-sided alchemica pools, good hosting, good cook.
Somebody,
that would be pretty cool to see someone else.
Somebody rented it already. So how fast that was? I literally just listed it right now. That quick, somebody rented it. So let's see. And actually, I'm going to show you how I can see what they're doing, how good they're doing, right? So, okay, it's actually this website right here. And you go to lending, make a new link, lending, then you go to manager, and you use your wallet address, and you say, I'm the depositor in the vault address, use this address, and look, you can see this one has been rented. So as these people play the game, it's going to show me how much they make. And after they're done, I can see that. So remember what I was telling you about. If I rent it to people, even if I give it to them for free, I can see, all right, your address, you didn't even play. So I'm not renting it to you anymore, right? And that's where eventually I'll get there. Again, this is day one, figuring it all out, figuring out the guild, figuring out all the ways of this business making money. But this is crazy. Like there's nothing like this. I'm telling you, like there's no business where you can do all this. Not instantly. Like, look, I didn't have to code any of this. I didn't have to. It existed before the game even went live, and these are community made. This is not the company making this. The community built this in anticipation of this game. That's how valuable they believe this opportunity is. This is no small feat. This is work. And it exists. They got the source code. You can even build on top of it. It's nuts. It's nuts. Let's listen.
Just to make sure in your browser. But
It did work over here, hopped right in, looking clean, getting lots of good positive in the chat.
Are the altars on delay again for the queue?
All right, let's see. So they're saying you go
sorry,
back in.
for
Let's try.
channeling, or what do you mean delayed?
You know how we were talking about earlier, it's like I can do it, it's still just, it's not made yet.
Oh, yeah. If it hasn't happened, that's the safest guess, is it's just delayed. It's either, through the blockchain, it's doing its work, but it should be working. So it's just it should be just a matter of time. But if you have been waiting for, I don't know, longer than an hour, definitely share that, and then post. And if you can try, if you have any additional information that might be helpful, that would be great. Let me see if I can get a link to a bug report. I don't know if we shared that, but that would definitely be helpful rather than coming through the wall of text in the community.
Damn, somebody rented the second one. So again, somebody rented it 51 seconds ago. See, it's all on the blockchain. So I will see in the next 3 hours how much these people did, right? And I can't really control if these people rent it again. So that's a big risk, right? Somebody could pay the 0.1 and I don't receive anything other than that 0.1. But again, I received something. I made money. Again, this business, day one, I made money. So if I invested all this money today, I would have invested a lot less because when I first invested, it was worth a lot more. And I would have made money. So, all right, let's just take what I made already, and I'm going to put it in the chart, and we're going to see what the percentage of my payback I've made. Right. So, okay. We said, oh man, I forgot how much it was before. Was it 12? I'm just going to say it was $12 before. And then so far, 0.1 on the ghost foot. So that's 0.2. I'm just going to say it's $12. Whatever. I'm just going to say it's $12. So I got in the chart, the business chart, I'm going to talk about income. So today, May 18th, so far through, oh, I can't write here. All right, this is running a business, right? These are my books. This is me checking the profits, whatever, the initial investment. Okay, so channeling on the land, I made $12. I'm gonna say slash renting ghosts. Right? All right, so $12. No, actually, that's ghosts. Sorry, that's ghosts. Let's do it in ghosts. Whatever. You know what? It's this. $12. Right? So $12 represents what percentage of my investment? 0.05% of my investment. The other day I sold a helmet, so I made $80 back from my investment. Right? So right now I made 12 back. So if I take this and I add it all back together, I will have 91, which will represent 0.37 of my investment back. Day one. You know, that other thing happened earlier, but I'll make this day one. I'll start it here just to make sure we understand that it started here. That's the day of the launch. Okay, so right now I'm gonna make this total, and I'll make this another color to make sure it's easy to understand too. All right, so right now, so far today, and I'm gonna do the math correctly tomorrow morning. We're gonna see how much percentage of my investment came back, and then we do the math and say, all right, if this continues, it will take me about this many days to recoup my investment. Again, when you're building generational wealth and assets, it's not gonna happen overnight. Like I said, real estate takes 4 to 5 years on average, sometimes 10 years to recoup your initial investment. Right? So I'm not mad if it takes me 150 days. Nowhere near what it normally takes. So again, but so far, this business has made $91 since I started tracking. Because it even made more before. Like I said, I made about 200 there, but I'm not gonna calculate it because I didn't know the exacts. Here, I'm gonna start putting in the exacts of this business and see exactly when I hit my initial investment. Cool. So I still want to try to get into. Let's see if they've made any money so far. Not yet. So what happens is every time you make money, you have to go to this portal, and when you go to the portal, you drop the money into the wallet, and when it's going into their wallet, it automatically takes the 10% and puts it in my wallet every single time, all day, every day. And every time somebody rents it, that ghost money comes right into my wallet automatically. So right now, if you look, I had originally it was 0.90 because I had to use 10 of it, and then did it come in so far? So sometimes it's a little slow too, right? Because of the blockchain. So we'll look the end of tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. We'll see how it is. Of course, tomorrow morning's video shouldn't be as long as this. This was special occasion, bunch of stuff happening. So let's listen in. I'm gonna take this a little past 1. I got a meeting at 1. I'll jump over after that.
Like last time, or not type form?
Yeah, Fava has one, but I just check with him and see if that's what you want to go with.
we got this type form. If you guys are still, I'm glad we didn't share this earlier because it just would have been an endless list of issues. But this probably is the right time. So we're going to share this type form. If you're seeing specific bugs you'd like documented, by all means, fill this out. And,
can we pin that in that channel?
I think so. I'm going to try right now.
Cool. Thanks.
That's the spawning, man. Now they're giving out.
Amazing. Goops beat me to it. It's already pinned. So,
there it
in the
is.
channel is the type form.
All right.
For any bug reports.
So there it goes, right?
Yeah, and when you fill out.
So, okay, to go to level 2. Oh, look, they're dropping our chemical already. All right, so to go to level 2, I need 300 plus 150 plus 75. 300, 150, 75, 10. So I'm going to do this for all 3 of my properties that I have going right now. So I'm going to need 900, 450, 225, and 30. All right, cool. So I'm going to do this. Maybe I'll walk around while I move that over. See if I see any alchemical. Also, I'm not in the main area. So you know what I should do though? I'm gonna go to the main area. I'm gonna come back in. Is the main area is District 1? That's like Manhattan, like Times Square actually. And I got 2 pieces of land in there, but I am not activating them yet because I want to understand how I best use those first. So you know what, district. I don't know. Whatever. I'll do north corner, whatever that means. Okay, but now I'm gonna move some funds around to make this possible to upgrade. All right, so like I said, I got multiple wallets. I'm not gonna do that on the screen, but okay, boom. All right, so we're close to the main area. The Times Square, District 1. All right, so now try to get into District 1. So I think these are road, and when you're on the road goes faster. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I really want to show my sons. I got to figure out how to get them involved. But all right. So you see, these are the ways that you put the money that you find. You send it to your wallet. Now I'm in District 1. This is District 1. I'm a sole person for the first time. All right. I'm just chilling here to see if catch any coins while I move this money. 2 minutes to my meeting. All right, I'm gonna let them know I'm be a little bit late. Oh, they were gonna add me as a speaker.
No longer.
It's like a cast.
It really is. It's low. You can't hear. I don't know why it's so low. So as you can't hear this, but I'm going to actually, you know what? I'll still just end the stream. I'm gonna upgrade my pieces as I do this meeting. One type of business is a business that you have to work yourself, and a business that other people can work for you, right? So this is a little bit of a balance right now where I'm working it right now to understand it, and then I'm gonna hire people to do it. So right now, normal business, you have to go out, put ads, find people, interview people. I don't have to do anything. I just put it up on the Gotchi Vault and I hire people through a smart contract. They use it, I get paid, they get paid. Same way like a job, but I don't even have to interview anybody, right? That's the difference, right? If you did a hot dog stand, either you work it and you make all the money, but you got to be out there all day. Sometimes it's hot. You don't get to live life. With this, I can go out and live life and still make money, right? That you want to make businesses that you don't have to work, right? Because that is what they call a lifestyle business, meaning it's kind of like a job. You want to make businesses where you're making money when you're not working, right? I mean, that's my goal at least. So if you watch this long, I'm not sure, however, wherever you are, whenever you watch, thank you so much. Looking forward to continuing to build this up and keeping you posted on how it's going. So thank you and have a very good rest of your day.